Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. Listen, we got LeBron James post-game live. Listen, the Los Angeles Lakers are looking like they are in a world of trouble up there in H-Town. The H-Town boys not fooling around. It's going down right now. We got a play under review. It's 103 to 119. There's a whole lot of time left. We talking 5:45. That's a lot of time for these Los Angeles Lakers. That's an eternity, so I'm definitely looking for them to capitalize in these moments. This is what a championship team is all about. Make no mistake about the situation. If the Lakers are where the Lakers are supposed to be, they will be a threat. I don't give a damn what's going on. Whenever you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and company, you really talking, So we're going to see what's up. It's Flight Sports. We live. Let's see what's going on. I think the Lakers could make this thing interesting. I don't know if they're gonna come back and win, but I think they can make this thing interesting. Only time will tell. Nonetheless, it's 103 to 119. I repeat, 5:45 to go. It's going down. It's Flight Sports. You got LeBron James at the line. This is what you're asking for. This is a young team in Houston. They're gonna make mistakes. We all know that. So let's see what it's all about. Here goes LeBron James at the free throw line right now as we speak. You got his arch nemesis out there right now, in Brooks. LeBron just missed a free throw too. That's not good. LeBron can't be missing free throws, especially when you're trying to come back and win this game. It's not a good look for Bron. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of time left. The veteran, LeBron James, is out there, 103, 119. You got D'Angelo Russell with the rock. They kick it to LeBron James. He posted up on Green. LeBron James scores easily on Jeff Green. It's 105, 119. 5:30 to go in the fourth. It's going down. Here comes Fred VanVleet, picked up by D. Russell. Screen with Green. They kick it out. Here it go. Here goes Houston. They moving and grooving. Fred VanVleet with the rock. Another screen with Green. Fred all the way to the cup, and you have a moving screen with Jeff Green. So the Lakers get a break. You got a turnover right there. It's 105, 119. You can't get no better than this right now. It's LA Lakers versus the Houston Rockets, 105, 119, 5:14 to go. We got Russell inbounded to LeBron James. LeBron picked up by Brooks, and you have another moving screen. Oh my goodness. This dude Jackson Hayes just floored him. I mean, come on. You had another moving screen out there. What was that about? I don't even think that was a moving screen. That was tough. I don't know about that, y'all. They should have reviewed it. Here you go. Here comes Houston. Houston inbounding. You got they kick it out. Sagan with the ball. They kick it to Fred VanVleet. Screen with Sagan. Fred VanVleet to Sagan, and he scores it. Oh my goodness. We have trouble right now in H-Town. We got Purple Baby live in the building. What's the deal, Purple? It's Flight Sports. What's good? We got Brian with it. LeBron cross-court pass. Shooter. Uh-oh. Rui Hachimura hits a bomb. Three ball, 108, 121. We got action, goddamn it. It ain't over. It's 4:35 to go. Here go Fred Van Vliet with the step back three ball, and it's off. Rebounded by LeBron James. Kane James with the ball going all the way to the rack. LeBron kicks it to D'Angelo Russell for three, and he missed it. Why LeBron ain't just go all the way to the cup? I mean, I was just sickening. I was sickening right there, man. That made absolutely no sense. Shout out Casual. We're gonna see what's up with these Los Angeles Lakers. We got a crazy game going on right now. Jackson Hayes can't mess this bag up. He can't mess his bag up for these Lakers. Here go Fred Van Vliet with it. He inbounding. Fred Van Vliet. We got AD on the bench. When AD coming off the bench? Houston got the ball right now. Sagan has it. Sagan with it, operating. He's looking for Green. Sagan just traveled. So the Lakers are catching breaks right now. You got a bunch of turnovers. I told you, Houston is a young team. They're going to make mistakes. They got a lot of young players despite a little bit of veteran leadership out there. And the Lakers are getting a timeout. We got to break into action. We got Purple Baby in the building. What's the deal, Purple?
Everything, everything about life.
Yeah, that's good. Well, besides that, in the sports world, try to lighten our days a little bit. How's everything going with these Lakers? We're gonna get into the Hornets as well.
I'll
But
be
what's
glad
up?
when they find somebody to trade because I'm so sick of hearing about them trade. Whether you do it, if you don't want to do it, stop talking about it. I'm just ready for them to stop talking about the Lakers. I wish they could win so people could stop complaining about who they need to get on their roster and who they don't want. They so ambitious. They going for players that they don't even have the assets to get.
Right, it's sad. You're right about that. You said they only got the assets to get them, and they stay talking about them, clamoring for them. You're right. We got a commercial break
Look at
right
Cat.
now.
There you go, talking about them Bucks.
Peep my Bucks. Man, I like the Bucks. Did Doc Rivers start coaching yet? That's tomorrow.
I don't even know.
When Doc Rivers coaching? We got, it's, like I said, it's 108, 121. We coming back from commercial. We inbound to LeBron, whether he kicks it to Russell, back to LeBron. LeBron crossing half court, met by Brooks. LeBron has it. LeBron screen. LeBron three ball cash. We have a 10-point game. LeBron just cut it to 10 with that big three. We got Fred Van Vliet crossing half court, met by D'Angelo Russell. Fred Van Vliet gives it to Green, gives it to Sagan. Sagan kicks it to Brooks. Brooks gives it to Sagan. Sagan with the floater, and it's off. Rebounded by the Lakers. LeBron has it. LeBron coming up half court. LeBron James has it picked up by Green. Screen coming. LeBron all the way to the cup. He kicks it out to Austin Reeves, pardon me. Reeves mid range, and he couldn't make it. These guys can't help LeBron for nothing. I mean, seriously. I mean, I feel for LeBron right now. He can't get no help out this motherfucker. We got Fred. He kicks it out. Shooter for Houston. He can't connect. Fred Van Vliet tries to save it, and he does. Green has it. Pardon me, Jalen Green, and he's fouled. You got free throws coming. It's 2:58. It's a 10-point game, 111, 121. Does LeBron have enough to get this job done? Only time will tell. What's good, my guy?
What's good with your flight? Shout out to Flight Sports TV. Shout
Yeah,
out to Purple Baby. Shout out to everybody on the panel and in the chat.
Yeah.
yeah. He said Doc is coaching tonight. Okay, I didn't know Doc was coaching.
Man, Doc not gonna make it. I'm telling y'all that right now.
He said
But
Doc.
that's a conversation
I
that
mean,
got
he
to be
might.
after this.
I mean,
After
he
this,
might. He might. So just gotta see how it works out in the next 20 games
but
to see how it goes.
but like I said, we're gonna wait till this game is over with.
Yeah, we could talk about Doc Rivers. I could always switch the stream, after this game. But I ain't got a call. We could just talk. I didn't know Doc Rivers was coaching.
Yeah. He coaching the Bucks. So we'll see how it go.
Yeah, the Lakers, man, they back down.
I'm curious to see how it go, man. So
I seen talking about
the one we need to talk about is Darvin Ham. He's the one I'm probably gonna get fired.
yeah, it don't make no sense. The Lakers
Yeah,
keep making stupid mistakes,
yeah.
a bunch of turnovers.
Sound like sounds like the Hornets tonight.
Yeah, shit, what happened? Man, I knew the Hornets was gonna be finished no matter. I was like, man, what the hell?
Man, it was bad, man. Not only so they were in it until they got to the second half. The second half, man, the Knicks just
Yeah,
exploded.
yeah, casual pop come through.
Yeah, the Knicks just exploded, man, and it was just a wrap from there, man. And just looking at and just looking at this team, man, the culture is absolutely atrocious. It looked like the only one that cared on the team was Brandon Miller. He the only one was upset, with losing. Everybody on the bench laughing, even Lamelo. Everybody on the bench laughing.
When did this
Down
happen?
to down. To, it happened tonight. They were down 25. Steve Clifford just got ejected. They on the bench joking around, including Lamelo.
They was playing the Knicks.
Yeah,
That's
that's playing the
crazy.
Knicks. Yeah, and the only one that cared was Brandon. Brandon looked depressed out there. He was depressed. Brandon had about 30. Brandon had like 30 points tonight.
Shit was
He
crazy.
was the only one that showed up. Everybody else, non-existent.
Mm, like I said, this is gonna be a good stream. I feel it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, from
Yeah, it
coaches,
is.
players, to management, to GMing, a lot.
Yeah,
Man, everybody need to go, man. At least Steve Clifford stood up finally.
Cliff,
Finally stood up.
Cliff.
Especially stood up for Miller because Miller got hit in the head and didn't even call a foul on the and one. And that's when Steve Clifford got ejected, and that's when he saw that clip that's is actually floating around on Twitter. That's not a really good look for Lamelo.
Oh, I've been listen. Wait till this game is over, Mergun. Just wait,
I'm telling you, it's
just
not a
wait.
good look for Lamelo
So
right
what y'all
now.
want to? Are we gonna review the game flight like this game, or like what you want?
No, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man, because hey,
It's not looking good. It's not looking
hey,
good. I mean, of course, I think Lamelo stays, but it ain't looking good for him.
I
I mean,
can't. I said this a couple of months ago, and just I'm gonna just calm down and wait. What the? Why is he on the floor?
The Lakers look like they're ready to throw in the towel. They're already throwing in the towel.
You
LeBron
know,
sent down.
fine. Let's see how it went down first. Yeah, they
Yep,
gonna give him a
it's
fine.
over. LeBron sitting down.
Oh yeah, he getting hit with a fine for that because you didn't have to do that. That was unnecessary.
What you
what you
mean?
talking about? Purple?
Uh, so I forgot who shot the shot, but he jumped over and hit LeBron in the face. Uh, Brooks, but LeBron is dramatic. So, but they gonna hit him with a fine for that. It's LeBron James of all people. You didn't have to. Don't start doing what Draymond do. See, Draymond, they was winning. Now they not winning no more. You can try to do that if you want to. They gonna suspend you so fast. It ain't even funny. You better calm down, sir.
They better calm down.
Yeah, they gotta understand that's a Draymond thing, and they shouldn't have let Draymond do it for as long as he did. Brooks, you better not start that.
It's crazy with these games.
Hmm.
Man, let's see what the Hornets been on. I'm so disgusted.
Yeah.
I'm through. They destroyed this
I'm
whole
about to
entire season.
I'm about to put the clip in hold on, I'm gonna put the clip in a private chat. Hold on, let me see.
Mm. I told because I
I
always get
put the
them
clip.
confused.
I got the clip.
Who be on here?
I got the clip in the private chat so y'all can look at it. But that's the clip right there. Them being down being down by 25 points and everybody joking,
Yeah, I
laughing
see
on
it.
the bench. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
see
man.
it. That's
And
book night. It looked like, and
Book
I
Night,
can't.
that's Book Night, Namelo, and
And
Bryce.
Bryce.
Yeah, we got to get
Yeah,
some of them fools up out of there. So that
yeah,
was
man,
it's
man.
like,
Everybody needs to go, man. You need to strip it down to the bare bones of just Lamelo and Mark Ones, and also too,
Miller.
and Miller. Also too, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the fact
Let
that
him alone.
how the Hornets missed and went after Mark Williams opposed to went at, instead of keeping Jalen Duren. That's
Mm,
not talked about enough.
right.
They should have kept Jalen Duren.
I said that. My thing is, it's a maturity thing. Clearly, they missing. God damn.
There's a maturity. It's a maturity thing. It's a maturity thing.
And then common
Because
sense.
eh, maturity, common sense, the lack of actual veteran presence.
Hmm.
That actually basically, that can. They need a Grant. They need somebody like a Grant Williams. Man, Miles ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
They need and
But
Gordon ain't gonna do nothing. And Terry wasn't gonna do nothing. They need a
right.
Grant. They
But
need actual
my thing
vets.
is, we all as men and women mature at different times in our lives. I know a lot of people feel that it's particular ages, but I think it just depends on the person and their environment and what they go through and whatever. But I've always said LaMelo, I think you can be friendly and be a leader, but LaMelo is so friendly that it's like, oh, well, that's not my job. Like, I'm not, that's why I disagree when people say, oh, when you're the highest paid, you got to be the leader. All of these guys in these sports and stuff don't want to do that. Like, they don't believe that they should lead, as the highest paid player. Like, because as much as we love LeBron James, shout out to him, while he may have never played like what I just seen Lamelo and laugh and stuff, is we've seen him do other things, you know, that is frowned upon. That's not okay.
So
Mm-mm.
what these Bucks doing, Purple?
I don't know. We got to ask Casual. I see how he's skating past.
They say it'd be on 20 minutes. I'm about to
Yeah, he got to tell us.
okay.
He got to tell us. He seems very excited. But I said Lamelo wasn't a leader. That's the thing.
He not.
I said that, and people, but he's the highest paid, and he got to. No, that's where I got it mistaken. KD is probably not the highest paid on the Suns. I think he might be the third highest paid because Booker. I think Booker is the first, and Bill, and then it's him. But KD told, and people got so mad. He making all this money, but he don't want to leave. Like, let him be the male or whatever y'all call it. Like, he don't want to do that. Y'all gotta recognize these guys is here to catch it,
The
get a
leader,
check,
the
be famous.
leader, the leader of the team is not even gonna be Lamelo. It's actually gonna be Miller.
I said that.
It's gonna be Miller.
I said that too.
Miller's a lot more. Miller's a lot more grounded than Lamelo right
Because it gives, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it
now. Well,
gives
you
that,
did.
oh, my people was on me so hard that, yeah, I was able to have my fun, but I wasn't able. When you around people your age, you like, well, man, they having more fun. It creates jealousy and enviness when you feel like, well, I'm not doing what they doing for fun. I'm saying that this is fun to do, but this ain't what I really want to do for fun. And that's how LaMelo act, honestly. Like, running
So
red
Sunday,
lights is never okay. If you have a problem with, which I don't know why the Hornets don't have security, and why they able to wait in the garages, for the players to come out and whatever. They shouldn't be that close or have that kind of accessibility to the players and stuff, but that's no reason for LaMelo to be running red lights and driving recklessly. That's a serious thing. I don't want to
Yeah,
hear that he's being young. It's not okay for anybody to be running red lights.
it's not. But just to, I guess, correct Thunder. I understand your stance on Mark Williams, but I'm very pro Jalen Duren. I thought Jalen Duren was a better prospect
Me too.
going out, and he had a higher ceiling than Mark Williams. He's more switchable at 1 through 5. He's clearly a better rebounder. And the
Hmm.
thing is, he's only 19, whereas Mark Williams is 21. So he has a higher upside, and he's far more athletic and moves a lot better and plays the same amount of great defense. So
Right.
I'm taking Jalen Duren. I felt like that should have been the pick. Now, if the Hornets want to go with we'll go to Mark. Cool, that's fine. Let him
Him.
develop. Let us see what he grows into. But I still take my stance. Well, I'm standing on Jalen Duren that he should have been the pick and he should have been in the Charlotte Hornets because
I
I
agree.
like the lineup of Duren, Miller, and LaMelo as a future, and then you fill around the gaps with veterans,
Right.
and not just any veterans, quality veterans,
And
because
guys that
that's the
want to
issue.
be a voice in the locker room, you know,
Yes, yes,
because
yes. And
again,
and also guys that have high IQ in basketball. That's the
right.
issue with this team. The issue is they're young and their vets lack IQ and don't comprehend how to value possessions.
Or
You know,
understand the game
and
of
on top,
basketball.
yes, they don't value possessions. Like for example, you see for example, Miles Bridges, they're starting to get a little bit of momentum. What does Miles Bridges do? Instead of just dribbling the ball to half court and running an offensive set, he gets the basketball and tries to toss it like he's the mellow ball to Nick Richards and it flies out of bounds, kills momentum. The Knicks go down and go score. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Basically,
Mm,
that players don't comprehend their role and it's the lack of IQ, and it starts from the GM down to the coach, and it's infested inside of the players. And it's sad to say, but it's affecting Lamelo and how he's performing and how he is on the court. We got to get rid of him. I'm sorry, Miles is Melo's boy, but he gotta go. All of
yep.
them gotta go.
Yep.
You need to start new. Get rid of every last one of them. Every last one of them, man. Nobody should stay on that roster. Nobody. You should. The only players that should stay is Mark, Lamelo, and Miller. You
Yeah.
may can keep Nick Smith Jr. because I see a little bit of promise of him being a six man type of scorer off the bench for
Yep. I
him. Other
agree.
than that, get rid of everybody.
Yep. Yep.
Start
I
new,
think.
start fresh. And when I mean everybody, I mean from the GM, the coach, and everybody that's not Mark, Miller, and Mello. That's it. Get rid of all of them.
So as far as Clifford Wright, his
And if
rotation,
somebody and if somebody offers you 4 first round picks for Mello, you listen to it.
Thunder. But I'm gonna ask you this. This is why I wanted to talk. We gonna still focus on the Hornets, but the coaching thing, right? When you look at the coach, as far as the game plan and like how he's approaching the situation, and obviously rotation, what else would you blame the coach for in general?
You said what?
I said outside of like rotations and game plans, like well substitutions and stuff like that. What else would you blame a coach for?
As far as Clifford, the lack of intensity of the players, the lack of basically communication that the players are not doing on the basketball court, the lack of offensive sets is actually being ran to get his players into easier mismatches as well as into easier shots on the basketball court. The lack of comprehension and breaking things down to a place to simplify it because obviously these players lack the IQ in the basketball court. So you need to simplify it and make it easier for them to be able to comprehend and be able to do. because they're always getting caught. They're always getting caught out, basically out of position. They lack basically the skill set to be able to obviously deter shots from the rim. I mean, Nick Richards, for God's sake, is 7'2", 7'1", 7'2", and it's like the dang on team. Basically, it's like team just walk in and say, "Well, it's gonna be a free night at the rim tonight."
Yep.
I mean, Brunson was living in the lane tonight. I mean, it made no sense how Nick Richards is 7'1", and basically Brunson was just like, "Oh, you down there? Lunch,
Right.
just lunch." Like Steve Clifford needs to be sent. Like Thunder said, I'm a people what Thunder said because I got what Thunder said. He needs to be sent to the shadow realm. Just about just about everything on his roster, including me as Check. Send him to the shadow realm to never return.
Because
Like
okay, let's
it's getting so bad. It's getting so bad to the point where it's like, should we think about selling the team and moving to a new city?
right. That's a large and huge step. But I would say this: if because he can, let's say he has, because I remember him saying he simplified his offense some for Lamelo to understand and to run the plays and whatever. So I wonder if it transferred to the other players because we don't know. But I would say this: it's how I look at it is, yeah, Clifford's responsible, just like Darvin Ham and many others, Doc Rivers. Yes, I'm gonna throw shade at him. But what I have to understand and what I'm recognizing is it's the players too. And since this team is so young, now Nick and LaMelo have no excuse at this point because they've been there for 4 years. I forgot how long Cody's been there. And Miles has also been there for longer than that. And PJ. So automatically, even though they Clifford only been coaching them for 2 years, it's basketball. You should know something about his playbook more than the other guys. But it's the players, like, because we're not in these team meetings and stuff or these practices. So it's like the coach can't get out there and play himself. Only thing I could, blame Clifford for it is when he's taking these players in and out, and just if he's sitting on the bench not calling out plays or whatever, because everybody don't have to be animated to call play sets and stuff like that or change up the defenses. So if he's doing that, fine, that's on Clifford, but it's only so much he can give them all the instruction he wants. If they come out on game day and do half of it right, that's to me not on the coach, especially when money talks.
I see your point.
Because LeBron James, for instance, and shout out to Anthony Davis. Like, I believe what y'all say when y'all say Clifford is I mean, not Clifford, but Ham is a bad coach. But at the same time, like, LeBron don't have to come out and say, no, it's a lie. He probably have already, though. Like, I am coachable. I don't run my own systems. I let these coaches come in and do their thing, and I go by what they say, but who would really believe that shit? But yes, it's only so much like these coaches could do. Like, and take authority. Now, LaMelo ain't to the superstardom where LeBron James is, but if they laughing and joking off in meetings and ain't paying attention and doing what they want to do in practice, like, these are newly, as I like to call them, over the age, hopefully everybody by now is, of 21-year-olds. You not their daddy, and I know that you not my father, and you not gonna talk to me any kind of way. So we won't know, but I feel like it's coming soon, because ESPN is on they behind about how that team looks. So I'm figuring that here soon, when if they do fire everybody, that it's going to come out like, no, they weren't listening. We did do this. We always recommended them to do this and that and the third. They thought everything, because they got to protect themselves, and they'll be able to get away with it because this team is so young, and you don't have, like, I know people say LaMelo's a superstar and stuff like that, but until, like, he
Who
has
says he a
success.
superstar?
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse
Who
me.
say
You must
yeah? Nah. Perp. Don't nobody call that man no superstar. Don't do that.
Okay, so it's fair game then. If coaching staff. I don't think Clifford will, but if they come, because I have a bad feeling that this summer is about to be a fool, because these people got to go out and get other jobs, whether it's in college, high school. They have to give other jobs, so they're gonna ask them, well, what was going on here that you didn't like? What was going on?
Yeah.
How can I trust you, especially with college players? Because you think they wild. College players is sometimes even worse because they younger. Some of them haven't matured quite yet. So
Well, Perp, low key, I feel like you're a little too hard on the situation here.
okay,
I get I get the intensity that you have when you're speaking about it, because to some degree there's some validity there, right? But I would just like to reference you to the Phoenix Suns before Monty Williams, before even drafting DeAndre Ayton, before Chris Paul coming there. That Phoenix Suns team was about as dysfunctional as the Charlotte Hornets, and in some ways, I could argue that they were even more, because you're not hearing reports about the front office putting a fucking llama in niggas' offices and defecating on people's desks. You're not hearing about that. You're hearing about that for Phoenix. So, like, I think if we're looking at the blueprint for how to turn your franchise from a laughing stock to a legitimate franchise that people want to come to, the avenue is to follow Phoenix. You clean house in the front office, which we can see they started doing so. First off, getting rid of that front office bum, Michael Jordan, because I will never say on the basketball, but the front office bum and Michael Jordan, they're starting to get rid of him. So the front office work is already being done. And then what did they do? They went out and capitalized on the draft, brought in some actual assets, and then they brought in some veteranship, right? So that they could be able to teach the young guys like Devin Booker, right? Like Mikal Bridges, right? Like DeAndre Ayton. They brought in those guys to be able to make them look respectable. That's why Ricky Rubio is so highly touted, because what is he more than anything? He's one of the best veterans out there, because he's professional and he's going to teach everybody to be professional. So that's why that's really what's going on right now. They don't have the foundation for you to even begin to expect what you're asking of them right now. That's really the problem. They need to get that foundation, and that's what they're working on. But that foundation doesn't happen overnight, because these players that they're going to need, they're not available right now because they're busy being veterans on other teams. The head coaching job that you're looking. Say it again. Yeah, and they're in the playoffs. And the head coaching job that we all understand needs to be changed with Steve Clifford, because my God, how bad of a coach he is. Did you see that New York Knicks game? Oh my God. But
he is atrocious, man.
Yes, he is terrible. But that head coaching job you need, that takes at least an off season for them to even begin to fathom what exactly is the head coach they're looking for. What philosophy do they think can match the personnel they currently have around them? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to look into those things. So all of this that you're asking for,
have the talent, man.
Yeah, exactly. We have the talent. Brandon Miller dropped 30 tonight. He looked amazing. And not to mention, even though LaMelo didn't have the best game, I believe that that's due to him still hampering from this ankle injury that happened early on in the season. But we understand the talent that he brings forth to the game, and the potential he has to be even more than what he is right now. We understand what Mark Williams means to this team. We understand the dynamic that LaMelo and Miles Bridges can have if put in the right situation. So we understand the talent that they have. We just understand also, or we need to understand also, that what's holding them down or what's muzzling their potential is the fact that they have an incompetent head coach and they have an even more incompetent front office that needs to be cleaned out.
Yep, I agree, man. Including the roster. Like,
Yeah,
I
I ain't gonna lie to you, and I ain't gonna lie to you.
Listen. Sometimes having your best friend on your team, which Miles is LaMelo, ain't always a good thing.
I was just about to say, the more I'm looking the more I'm looking at this tandem, it's more one-sided. I think you could find somebody else that blends with LaMelo. I think you could find
Much
somebody
better,
at
much
this
better
point.
than Miles.
At this point, because my
That
God,
has a much better. Listen. Did you see Casual? I know you saw it,
yeah,
Casual, because I was on my laptop. I was ready to throw my laptop across the
yeah.
freaking dang on living room. Did you see when Miles thought he was the Mellow? They were
This,
catching
bro,
momentum. They were catching in momentum. They were on a 4 point run. Miles gets the balls dribbling down court,
and
tries
thinks
to
he's
make
a
a
guard.
half court. Listen, tries to make a half court pass to Nick Richards, like he's Lamelo, and throws it out of bounds. Comes down, DiVincenzo hits the three on him. I was like, Miles. I was ready to throw my
Bro.
laptop across the freaking living room, man. I was like,
And here's the
Miles, what
and here's the
are
thing.
you doing?
And here's the thing. I've been the main one on here defending Miles Bridges because I think that the duo between him and LaMelo is just too precious for you to let go. Not to mention Charlotte's mercy. Like whatever they offer him, he really has to take. If we're keeping it a stack, like nobody in the franchise, nobody in the NBA is going to really roll the dice on him like Charlotte is willing to. So they could really offer him a 3-year, $50-60 million contract, and he got to take that. So I've been over here defending him, and the more I'm looking at Miles Bridges while LaMelo Ball is like not fully healthy. No, Miles Bridges is not. He's not that guy. They work well together, but not to the extent to where like it justifies you holding on to him as much as you hold on to LaMelo, as much as you hold on to Brandon Miller. Hell, as much as you hold on to Mark Williams, like he's not that valuable of a player in the grand scheme of things to where you can deal with this production when LaMelo's off the floor, because LaMelo can't play every minute with this guy. And when he doesn't play with this guy, oh my God, Miles Bridges' IQ just drops. It plummets.
It dissipates. It's non-existent. You know, it's like, dude, does LaMelo literally have to think for you to basically not make those passes, to not take those bad shots? You're taking bad one-on-one shots where you don't even have a mismatch. It gets on my ever-loving nerves, man. He's taking fadeaway shots, fadeaway shots like he Jordan. Bruh!
Ain't nothing worse than a player that thinks he's better than he actually is. I swear.
Oh my gosh, man.
Shout out to Terry Rozier.
There's nothing worse.
Shout out to
Terry Rozier. No facts. And shout out to Terry Rozier, because ain't nothing worse than a player that thinks he's better than he actually is.
And he know he not, but he playing in your face. I need Al to make an appearance, because now I want to ask him. I forgot what he told me, the reason why Miles wasn't playing. You know, like PJ was, at least when he first got there. I know Batum and stuff was there. But we need a now detailed history on Miles, because like I said, it was always funny to me that when LaMelo came, I understand the alley hoop thing, but I never was that excited about the duo anyway, because I'm interested in knowing, like, okay, well, why this guy wasn't playing outside of the obvious, you know, bringing people like Gordon Hayward in. Because see, if y'all notice, PJ still got a decent dose of minutes. And then I was looking at Miles and I was like, well, I know Gordon's there, and I know outside of Gordon's injuries, Gordon's, you know, good, but I didn't know who Miles Bridges was as a player. Honestly, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I know he was something without LaMelo, but you know, even now, I'm like, okay, what's your game like? What you like to do? Where do you like to get on the floor?
If we're keeping
Can
it a
you,
stack,
you
perfect.
know,
We're keeping it a stack. If we're keeping it a stack, Miles Bridges before LaMelo Ball, you could sort of start to see what he could be. That year where he was making a running for most improved player, I believe that was 20. I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020. but you started to see glimpses. It was I remember it because it was the same year where Jason Collins started to play a little better from his rookie season. And you
Mm,
could see he's an uber athletic forward, has upside defensively, is not going to be a number one and number two. He's a rotational guy. But
mm,
what he can provide for a team is athleticism, similar to Aaron Gordon. Athleticism and put in the right situation can give maximum effort on the defensive end that could keep him on the floor for 20, 25, 30 minutes a game. That being said, though, as the moment, and I'm not joking, the moment him and LaMelo stepped on the floor at the same time, he
mm,
became his Siamese twin. I kid you not. Because the
mm,
moment that LaMelo got to link up with Miles Bridges on some lob shit, Miles Bridges forgot who the hell he was.
mm,
He's LaMelo's dynamic duo. That's it.
mm.
That's it. And the problem with that is I don't know what's going to happen in this offseason, but if he does not get re-signed by Charlotte, it's going to take him a minute for him to remember who the hell he is. He doesn't even know who he is without LaMelo.
Mm. That's
That's
interesting.
crazy. That is crazy.
So then we know why. Well, outside of Michael being cheap, why Mitch and them offered the contract that they offered prior to him getting in trouble. Then, because it was, I
Yeah.
think, what was it like 40? I feel like 50 is too much, but it might have been somewhere. No, I think it was 60 million, and they wasn't signing for that.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he thought he was worth
yeah.
more than that, especially that specific year. He had a career high 3-point shooting year, and I want to say he had just crossed the 20-point threshold playing
Mm,
alongside LaMelo. So it was like, if there ever was a year to where he could bargain, it would have been that year. But after the shit he did off the court and the way he been playing on the court without LaMelo by his side, oh no, nigga, you can't tell me nothing. You take whatever I give you.
yep, yep. Yes. But you know what was crazy when people were so excited, well, they weren't excited for Miller in particular, but in general, on the other side of Twitter, for the Hornets fans, I wish Twitter would go back to how it was because I'm irritated when I search stuff and then they think I'm interested in it. No, I was only interested in it to get a little bit of clarification, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point. But I remember some people in the LaMelo fandom club was like, "Oh, Miller's gonna be this little, third action guy or third person guy that be in the corner or on the wing hitting threes." And I'm like, my criticism was I didn't like how, prior to the draft when it came to Miller that people was writing up on him, saying he was just a 3-point shooter and he needed to evolve. That's why I like watching workouts and stuff and just learning
yeah,
about the players because college, a lot of them get asked to do certain stuff that they didn't do in high school. Some of them are leading guys on their high school team. But I'm not shocked by how I see him play and how I think his offense has evolved this far. I had a feeling that he was more than a 3-point guy, and I'm so glad he proved me wrong in that. But once I noticed that he could be more than a 3-point guy and things like that, I'm like, I'm not placing him third to Miles Bridges. If you're telling me that you want Miles Bridges to be second to LaMelo in scoring because of him catching dunks, what about the rest of his game? His midi, his 3-point shot, which I acknowledge that he didn't have. To me, I'm going for the guy that can shoot from three, that I feel like his offense, because it was a feeling at the time
yeah,
that to me, yes, he's fresh out of college, but I felt like his game offensively, Miller, was more evolved coming in than what Bridges was. Excuse
mm,
me.
Yeah,
If I'm correct,
he's
you can call me out on that, but I believe I'm correct because I remember wanting to in Miles Bridges draft class. I always was like, I don't care about Charlotte, but I always was like, oh, I'll take Mikal Bridges over him because what I seen from Mikal Bridges in college. Only thing
yeah,
I kind of seen from Bridges was, yeah, he could dunk. He's a great energy guy and stuff like that. But it was like, okay, I don't know. what's gonna translate like shooting wise and all that, to the NBA
Actually,
level.
not a great shooter.
I'm gonna tell you right now. The more I'm looking at Brandon Miller, I'm here like I Perk. I know you hear me get irritated when they compare him to Paul George because Paul George,
I do
especially peak,
too.
yeah, especially peak Paul George. That's OD. Like defensively, like yeah, no. I can't see Brandon Miller doing that. But you want to know who I'm starting to see glimpses of,
Who?
and it's a player that's playing in the league right now.
Who?
I see Brandon Miller developing a similar game to Jason Tatum. And I'm gonna tell you why.
More
I can
efficient?
see that.
Well, no, not more efficient maybe from the 3 point line. I think, yeah, maybe from the 3 point line. But this is why I think that he could develop into Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at him play, and similar to what I was thinking of Jason Tatum when he in his rookie year,
Mm-hmm.
if his 3 point shot is not going, the quality of looks that he gets sort of shrinks because the defense isn't as honest, and he hasn't figured out yet to make himself more useful on the offensive end, especially playing alongside LaMelo and these other players that want the ball so often.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just on him, but similar to Jason Tatum, what I think he can grow into is that mid-range game. He has a
Yeah.
handle. He
Yeah.
has a handle. And if he's using that handle, especially at 6'7", 6'8", and he could build into his frame, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
he has bulky shoulders for him to be that skinny. If he can
Yes.
build into his frame, I think he can handle contact in the lane, and he could be
Yep.
able to get that mid range off more often than not. And so
Yep.
that's where I'm seeing Jason Tatum like all over again with him. The only question is he has to build that body muscle, and he needs to get more comfortable with dealing with contact, because that's
Yeah,
also one of his
that's it.
weaknesses that I see a little bit is when it comes to contact, he sort of shies away from it, and you can't do that, especially if you're going to be a perennial 20 point per game scorer. And I think that that's in Brandon Miller's future. But yeah, that long story short, I think Jason Tatum is more of the comparison that I'm looking at when I'm watching him rather than
It's,
Paul George.
so
Yeah,
would
Paul
you
Paul
be
George.
mad?
I don't like to me basically. I get it. That and don't get me wrong. I think Brandon Miller copied his game after Paul George was a great pick, especially at that
Yeah,
height and that size. That's a great pick. But comparing him to Paul George is outrageous. I think people really sleep on that season that he had when he was at OKC. Oh my God.
yes.
Like that was unreal. Like I don't think basically people
Like
realize
for
how
you to
talented
peak,
Paul George really is as a 6'7", 6'8" wing that can do everything from handle, shoot, pass, defend, rebound. Like he did. Like Paul George is one of those rare players. He put it this way: imagine Scottie Pippen, but taking it up a level. That's Paul George.
yeah.
So
That's
I
literally
All
get
Paul
right, all
George.
right, all
And
right,
I
all right, all right. We're slightly OD. We're slightly OD. We're slightly
look,
right.
look,
OD. Oh,
look,
wait, are you?
I'm not ODing on that. I'm not ODing as like I
Ah,
think
that's a
I
little
think no no
OD.
no no
That's a
no
little
I'm not
OD.
So
ODing on that because it's comparable. Because
I
when you
got
think
one
about
for
what
y'all
Scottie Pippen
niggas.
did, because listen now, now I
Okay.
still of course Scottie Pippen is the better defender than Paul George. Let's not argue
Clear.
that point.
Yeah,
But
he is.
but the thing is though is that Scottie Pippen when he was playing for the Bulls did everything.
Yep.
That's what Paul George does. But instead, you just add in 25 to 28 points a game a night. That's what Paul George does. That's
Not,
rare,
not,
and that's rare, man. And like
not
I can
in
see
that.
this, I can
Not
see Brandon aspiring to be that, but it's very difficult because I don't think Brandon has that ability at least yet. Maybe he
Right.
can develop it, but I don't think he has that ability yet defensively, like a Paul George. That's why I do like that comparison to Jason Tatum a lot more. Because even though Jason
So
Tatum
am
defends,
I
it ain't on Paul George level of defense.
so am I tripping? Is my see what I think he is, because I never thought about Jason Tatum. Right now, just for right now, as far as what I see with his progression throughout this season, am I wrong in saying Brandon Ingram then?
I see. I heard you say that a couple times. The only reason why I don't think that Brandon Ingram is the comparison is just because their games are operating in different areas. Like Brandon Ingram's game is the mid range.
Right. But
Brandon
I feel
Miller.
go ahead.
Oh, good. No. I was just about to say Brandon Miller's game, even like what the trajectory is going at. I think it's more operating perimeter based. So I think in that sense, I think it's probably more Paul George, Jason Tatum esque in that sense. He uses his ball handling skills to create separation around the perimeter rather than creating contact in the mid range or to get
Ye-
to the line. I think he's more Paul George in that sense. But um but as far as like their build, I could see why you think that though. I can
No,
see why
I
you
was
think that.
Yeah.
no,
But I
I
but I
only took
also but I think Brandon has a bit more upside in that range because of the fact that I think because of the
Agreed.
Brandon Miller's build, he can fill out a lot more than Brandon. I mean, excuse me,
absolutely.
than Ingram can. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he has a bit more upside in that department because if Brandon Miller does fill out and he does be able to get to that, be able to work through contact, because that's where I think, like you said, you made a great point on that, Casual, where because you seen that tonight,
Hmm.
where basically what's it called what's his name what's the coach name
Tom Thibodeau.
for the Knicks? You said what? No,
Tom Thibodeau.
what's the coach name? Yeah, Tom Fiddle. But yeah, he made sure he told DiVincenzo to get in him because you got to get physical with Brandon. That's
Yeah,
why basically DiVincenzo kept hopping over screens fast because obviously Nick Richards is atrocious at setting screens, but he kept hopping over the screens fast to get in Brandon Miller's body to make him uncomfortable when dribbling. Because if Brandon Miller gets ahead of his team going in that lane, DiVincenzo wasn't stopping that. Clearly wasn't stopping that. Because all Brandon gonna do is just shoot over top of him.
right.
And that's the element he has to add to his game is getting stronger and dealing with that contact like Jason Tatum did. Because once Jason Tatum got stronger and was able to deal with that contact, it was a wrap where he just shoot over top of people, especially smaller guards. So that's what he has to do. That's what
I
he has
think
to get
he.
better at.
I think in some senses, Jason Tatum still struggles with the with forcing the contact,
Yeah,
which
I
is
can see
I
that.
think is the upside for Brandon Miller. I think that could separate him from Jason Tatum in the sense
Yeah,
of he's more engaging the contact rather than shying away from it.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
But to clarify, I know that Brandon Miller and Brandon Ingram's games are different, but
Hmm.
I, from my assessment, I think it was after the draft. It might have been before. Either way, his little team that he had coming into the NBA, Millers, they said that how he played at Alabama as far as outside in, he didn't
Hmm.
always play that way. He was
Hmm.
in the mid range, like he was at the mid range and at the basket because I was like, well, he shoot free throws pretty well. I said, so we'll see, when he gets to the NBA. And from the little time I have seen him kind of put the ball on the floor and for like jump shots, because it's been very little, I was like, okay, I see what his team was talking about. So, because it also depends once again how the Hornets want to use him. So that's why I was so heavy on, and that's not to say Paul George didn't play that way either, but Brandon Ingram was more easier for me to think about because, Kobe fan. And I was
yeah,
watching, the Lakers then. And I was watching Brandon Ingram and I'm like, that's the only reason why. I know that games, 3-point line for Miller and more of a mid-range guy for Ingram, but that's the only reason why I was thinking that way. Once his
yeah.
scoring picked up, especially.
Yeah, to be very honest with you, Brandon Ingram's game is more comparable to a DeMar DeRozan or a Kevin Durant because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
use
that's
their
true.
size more so getting to the mid range and
Yep.
doing that part. Whereas Brandon is like
Doesn't.
with
Let's just
Miller.
be
He's more with Miller. He's more basically Paul George, Jason Tatum that wants to stay on the perimeter at the 3-point line right now.
right.
Hopefully, Brandon Miller does develop the better in and out game but he's shown the ability to be a 3 level scorer. And I
Yeah,
think that's what's really going to propel him get to
yeah,
the next level as he develops and being that 3 level scorer next to
yeah.
Lamelo, because Lamelo needs that next to him. He
I
needs
said
a
that.
3 level. He needs a 3 level scorer next to him because every great point guard has a guy, has a wing that can do 3 level scoring for him, and a big man that can be able to do everything he needs to do down low, which is
Right,
where Mark Williams has to develop, take the next step at. I wish they would have chose Jalen Duren, but they got Mark Williams. He does have upside, and
right.
hopefully
But
he gets healthy.
If they would
let's
have picked, I ain't gonna lie to you. If they would have picked Jalen Duren, boy,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying,
let's
man.
keep it one.
Like Jalen Duren with his athleticism and Lamelo, my gosh.
I've said it. I've said it before. I think Jalen Duren has the ability to mimic Dwight Howard with
Yeah,
his
I
size, his
I
stature,
said the same
athleticism.
thing, man.
I like Jalen Duren too. But I want to be honest about something because it's really starting to piss me off. And I wish we, especially as Americans on this side of the pond, we would stop doing it. But the center conversation it's always gonna come up, right? Or as they say, the five positions, since it's positionless. When you look at Chet and Wimby, right? Here
Mhm.
we go again with them going after players respectfully that can do, some of the qualities that Chet and Wimby can do. I have no problem with them doing that. But we kept like with Derek Lively, I think that's how you say his last name, by the way. I was
Yeah, it is.
extremely aggravated during the draft process when they proceeded to point out how well he shot from three. And I'm not saying he's an old school big or anything, but it really aggravated me because I'm like, most of these coaches in college are not playing these guys. Like you got two of them in the draft right now that have extremely two different skill sets, but they're
Mhm.
literally dropping because they quote unquote cannot stretch the floor. And I'm like, until y'all start teaching them from a young age, because some of these guys hit crazy growth spurts and whatever, until you really start teaching them to play outside in, they're going to continue to go to college and play, how they played 15 years ago. Like, so to penalize a guy to say, oh, he don't have any range and to up guys, like, I don't know what it is about Alex Sarr that people like. I just feel like they're on that high with the Chet and Wimby thing. And because I don't see it. I promise to God I don't see it. But
Right, right.
it's just aggravating me. And he's a foreign, front court player. It's really irritating me because start teaching these bigs then to play outside in if that's such a big deal. Don't criticize them for something that they're not being taught in high school and college to do. And they want these bigs to come out to be able to handle the ball, have range as far as the mid range goes and play in the post. A lot of them don't even know how to play in the post. You asking them to do too much is my thing. Like, and that's the thing about Mark Williams. When they came out at the end of last season, I don't know if he came out and said it himself or if it was the coaching staff about him shooting threes. Fuck shooting them threes, sir. Learn how to play in the post as an offensive player. I don't question you defensively that much. I think I should though. But you know, just come on, baby steps. It takes y'all a while to develop anyway, because some of y'all are dependent on having guards there because y'all really don't have offensive games as it is. But
Mhm.
it aggravates me so badly, man, that they keep doing that to them bigs. Like y'all not teaching them to play that way, but then they get to the NBA and you be like, oh yeah, like you don't know how to play that way. You got to get taken in the second round. That's crazy to me. Like,
Um. Okay, so I just want to just ask a question before I say anything.
mhm.
Are you basically saying that you feel as if um that you feel as if the draft when it comes to the drafting process that they're shaming these players for not being as skilled as the players like the Wembenyamas, like the Holmgrens?
At times, yeah. At times, yeah.
Okay.
At times,
Um.
that's my only criticism because it's frustrating.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. The thing about it is I don't take it as shaming. I think it's a realistic approach when you're talking about these players because there are some players that have value. Like Derek Lively is a perfect example of this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here's Derek Lively being 7 foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being athletic, similar to the player I'm looking at right now playing for the Denver Nuggets, DeAndre Jordan. In a league, the center spot has been more versatile than ever. You have the Karl Anthony Towns of the world, 7 foot, 40% 3-point shooter, able to be as mobile as most forwards in the league. You have a player in Jokic able to shoot, pass the ball, have a post game. Basically, you're a offensive demigod. Joel Embiid, offensive demigod, right? And you have you have forwards like Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo that are 7 foot, able to move like guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a player in Derek Lively who is your prototypical center
Mm-hmm.
who does only strictly rim protection and a lob threat. That's all he offers.
Right. Right.
That is not a that I don't think that that's a knock as much as that's the reality of things. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody is going to be taught the same way of basketball, the same way of we could both be taught the same thing by the same teacher in the same classroom. And I receive that information differently than you do,
Correct.
right? And so when we're talking about these players in the NBA draft and how they come into that draft and get analyzed, we have to understand that these players are coming from different programs, right?
Yep.
And these programs are teaching them what they know. Like they can't teach. I can't go out there and say, "Hey, today centers, I'm going to teach y'all how to dribble the ball like a point guard," and I have no knowledge on how to even begin to teach you that. So now I'm just telling you to do stuff, right? I just wasted your time or wasted my time, right? But
Right.
what I can't do that. But what I can do is I can be able to show you, teach you what I know, which is this is how the big man position has been taught to me, which is
Mm-hmm.
getting the ball in the post. You need to have a post game. You need to get footwork. You need to get stronger so that you can handle the contact in the paint because that's going to happen. You need to be a rim protector. You need to be learn how to move from post to post within a small meter of time. Like you need to learn those things so that when you get into the league, you at least have a chance of getting drafted. See, Derek Lively got drafted later on in the first round. He comes to a team that needed exactly what he offers: a lob threat and a rim protector. And that's all that you can ask for. Not everybody's going to have Chet and Wembenyama's. Like, if everybody had Chet and Wembenyama's tutelage and their knowledge and their skill set, the league would be drowning in too many damn big, centers that can do everything, right? That's not how the world works. Everybody has to learn their own way,
Mm-hmm.
and for that, you get tiers. Everybody's in their own tier.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
that's
has their own, and everybody has their own skill set that fits
Mm-hmm.
their team. Like Derek Lively skill set is serviceable because that's what the Mavs asked for. Because they don't need a do it all center. They need
Mm-hmm.
because they already got that in a guard who's obviously the best player in arguably the best player in the league right now. So they just need somebody just to be able just to catch a lob whenever he gets doubled or drives to the paint. They don't
right.
ask him to do much, but later on in his career as he develops, because remember he's just a rookie. So
Mm-hmm.
and later on in his career as he develops, yeah, he'll get more into that where he'll start to
Mm-hmm.
extend his game a lot more and start to get more post moves and start to
That's a
add more
wonder,
value to the team.
Merga. That is
That's
a
where that
wonderful
comes in.
point. That is a wonderful point. Look at Brooke
Yeah,
Lopez.
so
Look at Brooke
yeah.
Lopez.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of stuff happens. So you just got to be patient on that because because a prime example is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid did not have the same skill set that he has now. As a matter of fact, we were questioning whether or not he can potentially stay in his league because of his extensive injury history the first time in his
Correct.
career. But he developed, he got better, he got stronger, he developed the inside and he worked his way out.
Right.
And now you have an MVP candidate every single year he plays in the league. So,
And
but some players don't walk into that because you got to remember that some of these players, like a Chet Holmgren, start out on the outside. Like for example, prime example, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was a perimeter player at first. He hit a growth spurt because that's what happens to a lot of them. They play on the perimeter when they're younger, then they hit a growth spurt, and now they're asked to play inside. When originally they were perimeter players
mm,
growing up most of their lives. Now you ask them to play inside because they hit a massive growth spurt, like a Chet Holmgren or like an Anthony Davis, because that's the same thing that happened to him. So that kind of stuff happens right there. So they just happen to have that skill set and keep it. And that's what makes Anthony Davis, when he was getting drafted, so special because he was one of those players at the in the early 2000s. I mean, early 2010s that were pioneering, leading the way for a Chet Holmgren and a Wemby to come into the league.
mm.
So
Right.
that's where that
I-
comes in at. So
And
it's
I
just a matter of that. It's just a matter of that. Some people. It's just a matter of that. I get what you're saying because you want to see them develop more inside, but that's where the league is going right now. But
no,
that's what Casual said. That's where it's tiers. Everybody can't do everything everybody can do.
yeah, and I understand that. It's just more of, we obviously, these guys are young and raw. Pause. I understand their skill sets is different, and it, definitely matters how they're being taught and where they're getting played at. I'm just saying, like fine, I understand y'all want stretch bigs and y'all want these bigs to be able to stretch the floor, but don't deem it as a weakness or making it seem like the player is undraftable. Like, I'm pretty sure with this new class, these bigs, they gonna have these guys coming in, not just shooting threes, obviously, but shooting from the mid range, shooting from the post, just to show off their offensive skill set. Same thing with the defensive skill set and being switchable to be able to switch on to guards. I just want them to see them for what they are and be honest. Like, everybody can't respectfully hold guards on the perimeter like people say Bam can, for example. I don't watch Miami like that, so I don't know if Bam came in being
He
able
can.
to do that already.
He can.
It's just
That's
stuff like that where I feel like
but
people
that's
aren't
what but that's
good.
where I mean as well. But that's the separation. For example, I'll give a prime example. Look at look at Bam's skill set and look at that center that plays for Purdue,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can ask Bam to guard 1 through 5. You can ask that player, that guy from Purdue, to be able to do that. He's too slow a foot. He's not athletic enough. He is
Mm-hmm.
tall. He is lanky, but he doesn't have the foot speed to be able to stay in the perimeter. That's
Mm-hmm.
what limits him. That's what drops his value. That's why that Bam was sought after by Miami, it being a high value pick because of that. Because he's able to do things that certain players are just not able to do.
Right.
It's just it's sad that he gets penalized for it, but that's just the reality of that. He just doesn't have that skill set, and it's going to drop his value down because a lot of teams look for that.
Right.
Do you know how valuable a center is? They can be able to switch 1 through 5. It's
Very
rare.
huge. Yeah,
It's
huge.
rare.
Definitely.
So they're going to value that more than a player that played the center for that plays for Purdue, who's probably going to get drafted, but probably drop to the second round, and this is what it
Right.
is.
So
Right.
how many centers in the league that can guard 1 through 5?
That's what makes them special.
No,
Only it's only
there is. How many is it? I'm saying. I mean, like, is it?
you got Chet, you got Wimby, you got Bam,
Hold on. You got who? Wait, who? Who?
you got AD, um, who else you got? Can't
AD.
you know, yeah, AD guards one
Mm-hmm.
through five. AD
Mm-hmm.
guards 1 through 5. what you call it, Giannis can guard 1 through 5, depending on who
Wait,
the
wait,
five
wait,
is.
wait, wait, wait,
He
wait.
can
I
guard
feel
one
like
through
I,
five.
I feel like this is a this has to be a trick question because there's only truth be told, there's nobody in the league that can like legit guard 1 through 5
Thank
outside
you.
of
Thank you. Yeah,
no
who is that speaking? That's my guy too, I believe. Who?
casual brother.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah, casual. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a setup question. It
yeah, I
was.
was
You're a
about to
smart
say it
guy. You're
had
a
to be
smart guy.
had to be a setup because I'm like, bro, there's no player in the NBA right now that can guard 1 through 5 legit.
Wimby can't guard 1 through 5.
No,
AD can't guard 1 through 5.
no, he cannot.
I don't know too many centers in the league that can guard.
Bam, yeah, Bam. AD is the closest, and he had a
AD is the
series.
closest.
Yeah, AD is the closest, and he had a series of where he did it against Golden State, but that was an anomaly even for him, and he's the best defender in the league to
That's because
me.
and them Golden State Warrior niggas is light skinned and they play light skinned. They
Yeah,
were scared.
yeah, we're
They were
giving it a
scared to
stat.
go to the hole.
Exactly. The reason why it happened. Well, no, because I think Curry tried to go to the rim, but you knew ultimately what Curry wanted to do. He wanted to create a shot on the perimeter, and so AD just literally had an easy job of just staying
No, well,
as
really,
close to him as possible.
they played Curry differently. They didn't ever have AD on Curry by itself. He'd been
No,
cooked.
no,
What
no,
they
no.
did was they made
Oh,
Curry get a ball up. That's why Curry had all them assists that series. He was having
no.
it.
So I remember it vividly. It was game 3, right? It was a close game. This was the game where what's my guy's name? Lonnie Walker. Shout out Lonnie Walker, by the way. Lonnie Walker had that amazing game in the clutch. In the fourth quarter, I think he had like 15, 16 points. And AD had 2 back-to-back possessions on Curry because Curry was switch hunting. And he got AD on him, and AD did the best job I've ever seen a big do guarding Curry. And he stayed in front of him, except for Kevin Love. Respect to
I
Kevin
remember what you're talking about.
Love. Yeah,
That's because Curry played light skinned on that possession. The nigga
I
was
agree.
trying to look
I
for the
agree.
shot instead of just go right. He could have just went right around the nigga,
He really,
but he kept trying to set him up for the dribble to get a shot off
yeah,
instead of just go around. Which is retarded to me. But if you put them in the this is how I look at it. You put them in a gym, 1-on-1, at the top of the key. He not gonna be able to guard no fucking body. He's not gonna be able to guard. That's what can you take a center and put him in the gym with a Kyrie Irving or a Steph Curry 1-on-1 and he can hold his own and guard and stay in front of that man. I doubt it.
that's not necessarily how I look at it, but I see if that's how you look at it. I see why you say what you say.
Because then you can hold your own. If you can
Yeah, I
do
see the
that,
vision. I see the
you
vision.
can hold your own. Because if I gotta help you, are you really holding your own? See, if I
Yeah,
can just say
I see
you
what
go
you're saying.
lock him down, you got him, take him out of his game. Bam can do that sometimes. Bam and AD. If you're not a legit guard and you're just looking for your shot, then yeah, AD will
What
lock
about
your ass
Giannis?
up.
How you feel about Giannis doing that?
Giannis to me is a guard. He's just a big guard.
Oh no, I disagree. Especially with what I'm seeing him do right now against the Nuggets. No, that nigga's not a guard. By the way, the Nuggets just bust this game wide open. Like
Do y'all know
yeah,
when
this
Giannis
nigga
started
not a
out, bro,
guard.
when he was young, 19, 20 years old,
Pause.
he was damn near averaging like a 12-point triple double damn near. He's a guard, bro. I mean, he's an all arounder. He's always has been. Now he's just so dominant, so strong. But when he was not as strong, as dominant, you seen that boy dropping dimes. You probably got to go back because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all didn't know who the hell Giannis was, and nobody. Milwaukee Bucks wasn't even nice in his first 2 seasons. I knew he was because I was looking at them box scores, and I was like, "Who was this nigga?" Every night I'm looking at the box score. He got damn near a triple double. He'd be 1 assist or 2 rebounds shy from a triple double. They didn't have no crazy points, so nobody was talking about it. He had about 15 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. Or the next night he'd do 16 points and just reverse assists and rebounds. And I'm like, Giannis is all around player.
Yeah.
He always has been. He just used his strengths to his ability, which he's unstoppable now because his man strength is stronger than most niggas in the league. So he just dominates you in the paint now. You don't got to drop dimes and do all that shit.
He still, but okay, I disagree. I think he does. He does still show his facilitating skills.
Hmm.
It's just I think
Never said he didn't.
yeah no. I think he still shows his facility. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying I think that it's a little more than that. I think when he came into the league at a skinny frame, he still had the big man philosophy from the standpoint of he gets it all in the paint. The difference was he wasn't able to get to the paint because he wasn't strong enough to handle the contact, and that's where he started to gradually improve on his vision because that was his way of still maintaining like minutes on the floor alongside of his defensive ability. And then the stronger he got, that just added another piece to his repertoire of him being a much better finisher. Plus his footwork got better, but he always carried that big man philosophy. It just he was always a versatile, like Swiss Army knife type of player.
That's how them Euro players
Yeah,
be because that's how they get coached early. They get
I
coached
agree.
not just to be one thing like American players. And now
I
American players nowadays they trying to get more into that, teaching them all around game.
mhm.
And so, that's why, but if you look, man, the league is getting ran by Euro players.
Yeah, I think
Would y'all
I think.
say
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
nah? Would y'all say that Europeans currently right now are more skilled than American players?
100%.
Yeah.
You said what? Will we say what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
That European players are more skilled than American players.
Oh yeah, 1,000%, 1,000%. I don't, and to be quite honest with you, quiet as kept. I don't think it's starting to get to a point. I don't think it's close. When you look at a player like that's highly touted as an American player as a superstar, right? Like Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how big of a difference it is in the value he carries versus a player like Jokic, versus a player like Embiid, versus a player like Giannis, versus a player like Luca. These players all they what Jason Tatum offers as a simple scorer and defender and rebounder. You're talking about them that give that plus all-time level finishing, all-time level passing, all-time level. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than just like they're good at this. They're challenging some of the greatest of all time at what they're great at.
Right. I definitely agree with
I
that.
think the only American that's really challenging right now, that's still challenging right now, is Shea, Shea, KD, and LeBron.
Mm,
Shea, KD, and Bron right now.
that's interesting mix. That's an interesting mix.
Yeah,
So how
you if you asked me like like a couple years ago, Shea wouldn't be in this conversation, but Shea with he's challenging all time level scoring. He's not even shooting threes. He's getting his in the mid range. He's also rivaling some of these players that I named defensively, like quiet as Skipper. We're keeping it a stack. Shea is playing fantastic all defensive team level defense right now.
hopefully he makes it. Because Lord
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. He probably I ain't gonna lie to you. This is the year, and I'm afraid to admit this. This is the year where I finally take Curry out of the top five. It's finally time.
Yep. I mean, I think the
It's
All-Star
finally time.
game proved that. Like, was I shocked that he didn't make it? No and yeah.
Yeah.
Only yes because they say the markets matter. But other than that, no, like no, just no. It like I can't even give you a good description on why he shouldn't have made it. But it was just like I ain't surprised that he
He
wasn't.
shouldn't have he
You
shouldn't
know
have
who
made
I
it.
was surprised by
Ooh,
because of how shaky they been so far was Kevin Durant. That was interesting to me because
really?
I was like, really? Like all this is Booker's team and Booker's been the best player this far and all of that. I said, really? KD made it? That's interesting.
I mean, well, okay, it's the same logic of why LeBron got the starter nod over AD.
Mm-hmm.
AD's been the better player if we're keeping it a stat, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to wash LeBron for you to end up as a starter over him. Same thing with Devin Booker getting a nod over KD. Devin Booker, to me personally, has
Mm-hmm.
been more of a valuable player on the Phoenix Suns than KD because of he having to be basically everything that they needed, for the better part of this entire year. They needed a facilitator, he did that. They needed a dominant scorer, he did that. They needed him to step up as an on-ball defender, he's done that. Like anything they needed him to do, he's done. That being said, though, you have to watch KD. It has to be a clear discrepancy between you and KD for
Mm-hmm.
you to get the nod over him as a starter. And KD averaging 29 on the efficiency that he's averaging right now, while also not being a negative defensively. Yeah, nah, you weren't getting over that. You weren't getting over that. Unfortunately, unfortunately.
That's AD, man.
Yeah.
Shout out
Who
to
who was
AD.
who was the captain?
Oh, they don't. They're not doing the whatchamacallit this year.
Okay, good. That shit was lame.
Really? I ain't gonna lie to you. I
Hell
liked
yeah.
it. I liked it. I
Nah,
liked what they
East
did.
versus West, man. It was traditional. East versus West, baby.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I I I see why you fuck with it. Me personally, I liked it just from the standpoint of with the West and the East being in different like having different skill, like the skill level was at a like up and down. I like the fact that you could be able to sort of blend in the teams, right? So like for the most part, everybody was like on equal basis. It just
Yeah,
came down to who gave effort.
right.
Yeah, see, but it just to me it creates more of a rivalry. It brings some kind of a rivalry type. It's East versus West, and then it's all like who's the better conference? They say it's y'all. Even when the East was getting called weak, and LeBron was running the East with the Cavs. In them All Star games, D Wade and them came. They came to try to show up
Yep.
versus the West. I'm talking about versus Kobe. It's just a thing to it. I think when you just picking your homies and everybody homies anyway and all this. So
Right.
this is
They
the
out there
worst
playing
All Stars we've
21.
ever seen.
Yeah, they out there playing 21 for 4 quarters.
Right, that shit. And not
Yeah,
even
to be
really
honest.
playing. Like I never even seen basketball played like that before. Like even when I'm playing open gym, because I don't like to lose, we're gonna be competitive. And I know some people say, well, they got contracts and this that. Nigga, when you on the court, you get hurt by fucking around, by
Yeah.
bullshit. I was always taught that too. You get on that court, go hard, or you can fuck around and tweak
Hmm.
something still. So freak accidents can happen anytime. So just go
But
hard. You
you know when it
competitor.
you know when that started to happen though, right? You remember when D
When
Wade
LeBron,
ex no
when
no no
Kobe left and LeBron took over the league.
no yeah, all right. The LeBron slander is crazy. No, you remember when D Wade accidentally elbowed Kobe in the face, I believe?
What year was this?
I don't remember,
I'm
but
trying to I'm gonna look up the year. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look up the year
I,
before I finish explaining this.
I know
This
Kobe
is but
probably like that. He probably like, yeah.
yeah, no. He didn't mind it, but that after that happened, I think the leagues, not the league, but the players started to be like, all right, we need to chill out on the aggression, and they took it. They went too far on the other side of the spectrum, and they just haven't given effort since then. I mean, well, once the new rule got implemented with the team captains and stuff, that's when
Casually,
they started. Yeah, especially with when Kobe passed away, that's really when they started to
casually,
give effort because
casually. You're not
what was
being frank. You're not being frank with the people.
what you mean?
Go
What you
any
mean?
All Star game that Kobe played in. It was up. It was going down. Go look at the All-Star games when Kobe didn't play in the All-Star games and LeBron James them took over. Shit was lame. They played around. They bullshitted. When Kobe played, it was nigga, we finna hoop.
Was
Kobe
that
was
20?
getting at LeBron James away in them full court in All-Star
This
game.
Yeah,
was
like when he
when?
rolled
Wait,
that ball and
when did
Carmelo Anthony walked away. That shit was
quick
hilarious.
question? When did the All Star game go to Orlando? That was was that 2011 or 2012?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, sir.
I want to say that was
I would have
2012.
to Google. I would have to
I'm
use the
looking it
new
up.
age stuff. I'm not sure.
I think that was 2012. I'm gonna check right now.
I just know when Kobe played in them All Star games, it was competitive
Yeah,
because
it
he
was
brought that
2012.
intensity.
It was 2012. He broke Kobe's nose. And
Yeah, yeah.
Kobe
He
smiled
wore
at
a
him and told
mask.
him, yeah, so Kobe smiled at him and told him it was fine, right? But if you really think about it, from 2012, right after 2012, so 2013 all the way to I want to say 2019 or 2020 is when the new rule, the team captain stuff started making a head of steam. So for 7 years, think about all of those All-Star games and how the energy, the effort was drastically different.
Well, if
Like
Kobe was,
beforehand it was like, they have a better team. So if they get blown out, it's just like the West is just a better team. But now it's like, nah, these niggas just don't care.
that shit lame.
It is.
That
It
shit lame. I
definitely
can't even
is.
believe it. Niggas dropping 70 points. So regular degulars is dropping 70s nowadays, man. I'm like, what is the defense? What is going on? Are these
Breaking
players
news,
that
man.
skilled, or the defense is just an anomaly now
They say
Breaking
in
it's
the
news.
both.
NBA?
Breaking news, purple man. My Bucks lose to the Nuggets after this debut, bro.
Yeah, the Buggets needed to Nuggets rather.
She
They
said the
needed to
Nuggets.
they needed this because baby. Mm-mm.
What
No,
the
but
what you know?
here's my feeling. I'm used to
Mm.
seeing mediocrity. And I know what mediocrity looks like. Mediocrity can sometimes fool people into thinking the team is really that good. Now, all respect to Denver. I think they're good cohesively. I think Jokic is an awesome player. But I told people when you just they just no. Like they don't give me I'm not afraid of them like I was afraid of the Golden State Warriors and how lethal and toxic it didn't look the same. Same thing with Minnesota.
Were you
Blessings
afraid of them?
they get to the second, but I'm not scared of them. Like I don't think nobody because it takes special teams to do that. Like the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the San Antonio Spurs. You know how they look collectively as a unit. Miami, it was just because they was loaded. You know, with LeBron James and all of them. But like Denver was just like, okay, you know, it's great that you doing this, but like, come on, man, like, no, like you ain't doing
No,
nothing for me
Perp,
as a
perp. I don't know.
are
Perp.
you
I'm gonna
okay?
keep it a stack with Perp. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what you're watching then.
I don't know what
why,
you are.
Yeah, I don't know what
you
you're watching.
He's smoking hella weed.
so
Cause
y'all for real, y'all feel that they like
Yeah, they like that.
I
Jokic
just
is like that.
I don't know.
Jamal Murray
okay,
has
okay, okay, okay.
Jamal
I don't
Murray has shown to
Do
be,
you do you
and he
know
has shown to
exactly?
be like that. I don't hold on. Let me say
Oh,
that
go ahead,
because
go ahead, go
Purple. I
ahead.
don't know if you expecting everybody to be a loaded roster from first man to the 10th man, but no, they got a hella fine team. You got a 6'10" small forward who's a shooter, plays defense, now starting to rebound. You have a point guard who can get others involved, plus his own shot, plus he's clutch. Then you have a fucking monster in Jokic who can do everything and one of the smartest players in all of the league. Then you
Yeah.
got good coaching, and you got a bunch of good role players. Also, like that's the championship team that's built.
But better than Golden State's years when they was dominating is what I'm
No, no,
asking.
no, no. But you're
No,
comparing.
it
No,
doesn't
but
have to be better
yeah.
than
That's what I'm
Golden
saying.
State's years. Is
So
they this is their year. This is no
yeah,
longer
you're
Golden
comparing
State.
dominance. You're comparing dominance to dominance. Like what makes the Denver Nuggets the team that nobody wants to have to deal with, and that's why they're for years to come going to be title favorites, is because for every counter that you have, the offense that they run with Jokic at the center of it is
Right?
based on a reactionary offense. Their motion offense is a reactionary offense. So whatever you throw at them, they have a counter to your counter.
Oh, they
That's
crazy.
what makes them so scary. And not only that, the pace that they play at is just like in a happy medium. They're fast paced, but they're not the fastest in the league. In other words, they're fast enough to where they're going to get quality buckets on you, but they're slow enough to where they eat up the clock. So you can never, once they build that big lead on you, it's so hard for you to get it, for you to come back from that. There's
Casual don't
no,
sound like a casual tonight, boy. I tell you,
oh
boy, the
man,
boy
there's
tells us
no
talk like he knows some basketball.
there's no team in the NBA that has an offense that counters what Denver Nuggets produce, because they don't run the same pace outside of the 76ers. I will say that. This year so far, what it's looking like, the 76ers are running a similar offense, but it's not nearly as effective because they don't have the consistency of a player like Jamal Murray combined with Michael Porter Jr., who's quiet as kept, building a reputation as one of the league's best three-point shooters at the four spot we've ever seen. Aaron Gordon
No,
being a
he played three.
consistent,
He played three.
yeah, Aaron Gordon being a consistent lob threat, and Jokic being the offensive wizard that he is. Nobody in the league has that. Mixed with Mike Malone's offensive genius and him weighing heavily on them, like that team is a team that is going to dominate for years. I seriously don't think you really understand what you're watching.
Yeah, LeBron got people thinking you
To be
need
a
both
No,
sides
heliocentric
I'm
to
not
offense.
start.
saying like Golden State prior to KD. Most of their guys was older veteran guys, that came in that they signed. But other than that, they monsters with guys that they built up and stuff. I just felt like that team, partially because of the style of play that they played. To me, like I'm not saying Denver is not dangerous. I just think personally, like if Golden State was still on their shit, which they not, I would take
That's
Golden State
irrelevant.
to beat Denver every time.
But that's
Like
irrelevant. You just said something that don't go. If they're not on their shit and Denver is, then
but
that's a wash. Right now, who do you have beating them in the Western Conference? That's the
nobody,
question.
because I don't believe in Minnesota.
Okay,
They roster,
so if you have nobody beating them in the West, that means you got them to be in the best. And then who's going to
because
beat them and then who's going to beat them in the East?
The Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the
I
76ers.
don't believe because the Celtics just nah, hell
Like
nah.
like what I'm asking you, I'm trying to see how to get you to say, is there anybody you see that can for surely beat the Denver Nuggets in the championship game this
No,
season?
no, I don't feel like they have
All
nobody
right,
but
well then you know that they're a well-oiled machine. Then you just admitted to you
but
probably they're a
I never
well-oiled
said they
machine.
weren't. I said they were a safe like the Chiefs. How they back in the Super Bowl again. To me,
I
like
wouldn't have
we spoke
predicted
on
that.
this
I thought they was gonna lose. They had a rough team.
right. But to me, it matters. Like, it's not to say the Chiefs don't have competition. We know they have. Like, they can't do nothing about when
Elite
when the other
competition.
team makes mistakes and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I'm calling it for what it is. I feel like Denver is a good team, but I'm looking at the competition
They're a
and I feel like
championship team, purple.
I said that, but that would make the Chiefs the same thing.
Right.
But okay,
They're,
you're
they're
comparing. All right, first off, you're comparing it to something. I just, I'm ignorant too. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't watch no fucking football. But you're
Uh,
comparing. What you're alluding. What you're basically like calling the Nuggets is basically your run-of-the-mill team that's always going to have their hat in the championship race, but they're never truly like looked at as title favorites, and that's just simply not true.
I didn't say they wasn't
Okay,
looked at as
question,
title
question, question,
favorites.
question. In 2010, did you look at the Kobe Bryant led Los Angeles Lakers as a dominant team
With Pau
No,
Gasol, right?
with Pau Gasol and Ron
no,
Artest?
and that's my team. And
No,
Not
I'm
at
asking. I'm
that
asking
time.
her. I'm asking her.
no,
No, not at that time because of things that was going on. I felt like other teams were better.
Okay. Okay. What teams do you think in the Western Conference were better than that Los Angeles Lakers team?
Uh, Dallas mainly. I still have hope in San Antonio. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. Well, if you look, the reason why I asked that, I just want to see if you're being consistent because there's
Yeah,
plenty
all
of
I'm
teams
saying
that
is I
there's
know they're a
plenty of
good
teams that
team.
have an offensive. There's plenty of teams that have an offensive piece that's as close to unstoppable as you can get,
Right.
and they all were touted as a dominant team due to having that dominant figure on
She
their
must don't
team.
respect Jokic like that. She don't look at
Yeah,
Jokic
I don't think she
like
you just don't know
like
how
that's what
good
that
Jokic
is.
is.
She don't look at
No,
Jokic
no, that's not
as
it.
that
I
dude.
feel like it's just hard to explain. Like I
No,
don't.
no, because
I'm
if you
listening.
look at
I'm
Jokic
listening.
like
Really
he
think
was a
about it.
Kobe or not, because he's not a Kobe, but if you looked at him like if he was a dominant, one of the best players to play, top 10, top 15 player of all time to play, and he got a team around him like like Jokic do, with a coach like he do, running the plays that the offense that they run. Now
Hmm.
then you would know like, no, this is a dominant team. Because there's really
Okay.
nothing you could do. Like
Okay.
Karen said, there's nothing you could do against them. Nothing you
Okay.
can do. You
Okay.
know, because Jokic, he not like Embiid, and he's smarter than Embiid. That's the thing. Embiid is a better individual skill. He has better individual skill sets, uh, per
Not
se.
playmaking.
But no, not playmaking. But the thing with Jokic, that's because that there you go.
So
See,
how? No, that's
he's
what I was about
smarter.
to say. So how do you
Jokic don't
know?
gotta score all of those type of points because he gon' he gonna create for his other teammates to get buckets too. And
I
he'll
was about to
still give
say
you
so.
30 piece
I was just
plus
about to say so. How do
a
you
double
know
digit
that?
assists.
How do you know that that Jokic has all of that to his game, and yet still not think that that's a dominant team?
I didn't say the team wasn't dominant. I said like
You
I
did.
like
That's the whole reason we're having this
no,
conversation.
That's the whole reason we having this
y'all
conversation.
misunderstood me.
Okay.
Like for instance, you said you didn't watch football, so I can't even use that on you. I can't even use that on you, bro.
Come on
I'm
now,
just
show
I'm
me some
just gonna
mercy. Shit.
like when we're honestly thinking, I don't know why people keep saying the Lakers because that's just a joke to me. But when you look, like really look at the West outside of Denver, who can challenge them? Like who would you think? Like, yeah, I'm taking Denver, but it's
So
close.
oh, I know what you're doing now, Purple. You comparing them basically to all time great championship type teams.
Yeah, when they
That's
get on
what
the
But
you're
and
why?
saying. How
Denver,
does
But
Denver
why?
line up as far as them being top dog champions like a Golden State or a Lakers or
don't put Spurs
Yeah,
in it.
Bulls,
but
Spurs,
why
yeah,
though?
Spurs.
Why are you doing that though? Like
I
that's a
could dig
weird
it.
thing to
I
do.
could dig that though.
No, but I no, but I'm wondering
Where
why
would
are
they
you
be ranked as far as amongst the championship teams? That's a good topic.
ranked amongst championship teams. I think they're wait, are we talking within like all time?
Yeah.
Uh,
They're at the bottom. They're at the bottom.
I, I think they're in the
Unless-
middle. I think they're in the middle. I think they're in the middle. If we're
The
keeping it a stack.
middle?
I think they're in the middle because I think that like when you go to look in the NBA history, a lot of those teams that won championships after they won the championship, a lot of them disbanded. If we're keeping a stack, either they disbanded or they just got older. Like they won the championship on like the last leg, and then that was it. Like they sort of bowed out gracefully, right? Like a la the 2012 Dallas Mavericks. Like everybody knew after they won that championship, that was not a title team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I think that when you look at NBA history, like they're probably closer to the middle of the pack than they are to like the front or the back of the line. My whole thing is like that is I feel like that's a flawed way to look at it, just from the standpoint of like if we're keeping it a stack, right? Everybody in NBA history, after they win the championship, they're not viewed as a dominant figure, especially if unless you're a team that has like a stacked team, right? Like the Philadelphia 76ers, who had Maurice Cheeks, Dr. J, Moses Malone. Like unless you're one of those teams, or Billy Cunningham, like unless you're one of those teams, you're not like going to be looked at going into the next year as like the lone title favorites. Like it's very, very random time periods in NBA history where you're going to find that. So like I feel like that's a flawed way to look at it, just because like that like you can say that for everybody. Like even the Miami Heat after 2006, they were not viewed as title favorites in 2007. They weren't.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, where you from? Where you from, young man?
I'm from Houston.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I
You know,
appreciate it, man.
you read those names off for the 76ers. Uh, like you done been around before. I like your style. I like your style.
I appreciate it, bro.
All
You
right.
said Bill Cunningham. How this nigga know about this nigga? This nigga ran off the starting lineup for the 76ers. The 1976 76ers. This nigga just
My mama be on my look. I tell my co-host, my mama be on my head telling me I gotta know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm over here talking ball.
I hear you, sir. I hear you. I hear you. So
So Cat,
yeah. But not as far. I think it's a difference. I shouldn't even say championship teams. I don't even think she means
Okay.
championship team. I think she means dynasties.
Yeah,
Or
okay,
they
okay. Yeah, that now that
I
now
think
that
she means
that's fair. But I don't.
dynasties.
I feel like you have to win. You have to win more than just two championships for you to be considered a dynasty.
Correct. Though.
okay. I had fun with that conversation.
Yeah, you're nasty though.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
can't wait. Oh, you ain't a Lakers fan, are you?
Yes,
Hell
I
no.
am. I'm just not
Myself
I'm
then.
taking the break from LeBron.
Only thing I would ask you.
I don't do LeBron James, so
Oh, never
I
mind.
don't root for
Let
the
me
Lakers.
ask you the question though. Damn
Yeah.
it. Damn it. Oh, that's nasty. That's a nasty topic, man.
Well, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
I
I
said I
didn't hear it
wanted to
either.
ask you a question about LeBron and the Lakers, but you said you don't do LeBron, so
I mean, you can ask me the question. I know about basketball.
no. What would you rate him? Excuse me, all time as far as Lakers.
LeBron James.
Yep.
Oh wow. You
I
really
wouldn't rank him
nasty.
as a Laker. Period.
Okay.
I wouldn't rank. He's not a Laker.
Yeah, okay.
He play for the Lakers, and will they hang his?
Is he even a top, we're keeping it a stack. Is he even top five all time as a Laker?
Oh no, not at all. What do you mean? What do you mean? First of all, that's why I say I can't even. I mean, because you know you got Kobe, Magic, Kareem. That's just three to just throw at your face real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to dive, you want to dive deep into it. Was he better than Jerry West? He was the Elgin Baylor. He was the big. Will Chamberlain. He was. I mean, but Will. I see. To me, Will not a real Laker. See, I don't even look at Will. That's why I almost didn't even say him. Huh?
He only played. I think he only played for the Lakers for what, 5 seasons, 6 seasons.
Yeah, something like that. It was a quick little stint, just like LeBron thing with his fifth season on the Lakers.
Yeah, we keeping it a stack. I think Magic is greater. Kobe, obviously. I think Shaq is greater.
Shaq, right?
Kareem. I
Yeah,
think Jerry
mention
West is
Shaq.
better. I think Jerry West is greater.
Say Doug.
I think Elgin Baylor is greater.
Yeah, me too.
I think the argument can be. I think the allegations LeBron has to beat for him to even enter into the Elgin Baylor conversation. He has to beat those James Worthy allegations.
Oh, that nigga gave him James Worthy. I knew I liked you, young man. That nigga said, that
He got to
nigga
beat those.
said,
He got to beat those James Worthy allegations.
that nigga said he can't fuck with Big Game James.
Yeah, nah.
And
Yeah,
listen,
like
Big Game James was cold, but no, I gotta give LeBron. Actually, yeah, with all the little antics LeBron has done for me, it sours his legacy for me. When you got to run to team to get your ring,
nah,
I
but
don't
we only
respect
talk.
it.
Yeah, but we
I
only
don't
talking about for
respect
the. We only talking about for the Lakers. Like if we're talking, and even when we're talking about for the Lakers, like if you're thinking when the more I think about it, the things that James Worthy was able to like chameleonize himself to be for the Lakers when Kareem was is still in a point of his career where he was still able to be dominant, albeit at spurts when Magic transferred into being more of the guy both on and off the court as far as the leader of the team. And even when Magic started to his skill set started to diminish due to his athleticism, just him getting older. Like James Worthy was like that 90, I think was it 91? I think it was 90 or 91. That postseason run, like people give Magic a lot of credit for that. But Quad has kept James Worthy defensively. He was a lot for that team.
it. He was a monster.
Yeah, he was a lot for that team.
That was
So
without the Showtime Lakers, man. I mean, you know,
yeah.
them boys,
Shout out James Worthy. Shout out James Worthy.
Big Game James.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his name was. Big Game James. He gonna come through. He gonna come through. Yeah, they was nasty. They had a collective and they all knew how to play together. They had a lot of
Yeah.
players who was individually top talented of all time players that knew how to play together. Cause yeah, Magic just orchestrating that thing so beautifully. I mean, they like shit. We just run the floor, and then when it become infectious. He drop a dime, and you see another nigga cutting. You gonna drop the other dime, and they throw the lob or whatever. They out there running 3-man weaves on this.
This look also he I don't
The
I
three
think
man weave offense.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I give I'd say LeBron is greater than him, but shout out to Gil Goodrich. Shout out to Gil Goodrich as well.
Who?
Gil Goodrich.
Oh, Goodrich is nice for sure.
Yeah, Gil Goodrich was a part of that Lakers team that won the championship for Wilt because Wilt couldn't win it outside of one season. And, and so Gil Goodrich, left-handed shooter, bro had a stroke. Like niggas want to talk about like people back in the day that had a stroke. If the 3-point line would have been there, my God, Gil
Yeah,
Goodrich could shoot that ball. So yeah, no, shout out to Gil Goodrich.
yeah. That boy said LeBron ain't no James Worthy left. That's what I heard.
Yeah, as far as greatest Lakers of all time, it's stacked. Like the roster is stacked.
You ever been on FYF Sports Debate?
Yeah,
That's what I probably heard from you before.
yeah. That's
Have you
that's
heard of me?
OG.
You sound familiar from when I first heard you. So yeah, I think that's
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yep. This shall be entertainment. How many coaches y'all think getting fired in the off season?
Let's go through these teams, guys. Let the Boston Celtics fuck around and get knocked out of the second round or earlier. Joe Mazzulla's getting fired. Let 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 the New York Knicks get smoked in the first round. Tom Thibodeau's getting fired. The Cleveland Cavaliers job, quiet as kept. JB Bickerstaff, watch out for your job, nigga. I think Indiana Pacers, Rick Carlisle's job is pretty safe. I also say Orlando Magic's head coaching job is pretty safe, especially with how well they're playing this season. Of course, exposure safe. Chicago Bulls, Billy Donovan, watch for his job.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nets, I've been on record saying that Jock Vaughn's getting fired this season. There's no way that Cam Thomas is like struggling to get burned at this point. Like, nigga, you can't figure out how to disguise a bad defender. Like, every other team in the NBA don't have that same responsibility. Like, what are we talking about here?
Look for Darvin Ham.
Darren Ham is going. Well, I hadn't even gotten to the Western Conference yet. Steve Clifford. Yeah, count your
We
days,
are
nigga. Yeah, count your days, nigga. Wes Unseld Jr. is going to get fired as well.
Atlanta Hawks.
He's no. That's Washington Wizards. He's done a
yeah,
bad
that's
job.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's done a bad job. I think Quinn Snyder's safe for the Atlanta Hawks though, because their struggles has little to do with Quinn Snyder as much as it has to do with just personnel problems, egos, and like you can't put as much as I think coaches have the responsibility of balancing egos. When the egos are that volatile, you can only do so much. So I think they got to clean house players wise before they even start to look at the coach to blame. Minnesota Timberwolves head coaching is safe. Oklahoma City Thunder's team is head coaching job is safe. Mike Malone is safe. Tyronn Lue, that's an interesting one, but I'd say he's safe. Mike Brown is safe for the Sacramento Kings. Frank Vogel's job, I think, is safe for the Suns this year. Willie Green for the New Orleans Pelicans. That's interesting. That's an interesting job because I think he's done the best he can do given the people that's been in and out for the New Orleans Pelicans. But on the same token, they still don't have an identity. Like when you think of the Pelicans, they don't have an identity. Like, are they an offensive team? Are they a defensive team? What is their calling card offensively or defensively? Like, what is like their go-to? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think of these teams in the NBA, like, you know what they're all about. When it comes to the Pelicans, I can't tell you what they're all about. Dallas Mavericks, I'd say Jason Kidd's job isn't safe. And the reason why it's not safe is because the Dallas Mavericks are the 8th seed. And with the talent that they have, they shouldn't be in the 8th seed. They should be battling with the likes of the Clippers. I think when we're talking about teams in the NBA that has really all that they need to be a good team, the Dallas Mavericks should mark that box off. So the fact that they're only 4 games over 500, that's not necessarily impressive. Now we get to your Lakers. Darn him, count your days, nigga. He's getting fired. Whether they make the playoffs or not, he's getting fired. Because my God, he's doing the rotational problems is crazy. Him lacking the ability to understand or lacking the bandwidth to understand exactly who to put on the court with who. Like, you putting Vanderbilt on the floor with Cam Reddish, criminal. So yeah, count your days, nigga. He's getting fired. The head coach for Utah Jazz, he's safe. Ime Udoka, we respect the Rockets for what they've done this year, so he's safe. Especially what they did to the Lakers tonight. So yeah, he's good. Steve Kerr, this is my hot take. Steve Kerr, he will be fired this offseason. I believe so. Because I think when it comes to Golden State, too many reports are coming out about things that are centered around his coaching style. Quiet as kept, this has been his coaching style for years now. So I think especially with them being in the position that they are in, where they're going to have to sell their young talent to bring in players to help get Curry and Draymond and possibly Clay. another championship team for them to make a run, one final hoorah, if you will. That it unfortunately I don't think Steve Kerr is going to be there because I think even if you trade those young players, I just feel like Steve Kerr's lost the locker room. Like they then it doesn't look like they're receiving his message like they once did. And so I think that when that happens, obviously y'all know the writing's on the wall. So I think it's his time to go. I think when it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies job, I think he should be safe. Will he be safe? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to use him as a scapegoat. But I mean, it's clear as day why the Memphis Grizzlies suck. They just don't have their best player. So he should be fine. Chauncey Billups getting fired though. Chauncey Billups is getting his ass fired.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups sucks. So he should get fired. And then obviously Greg Popovich, like, come on, legacy coach. He's
Yeah,
keeping his job.
Popovich at this point. Grandpa Popovich.
type shit. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, Orlando, Miami, 4, 5. Did I say? Hornets and Wizards. That's 6 and 7. Let's see. New Orleans Pelicans is 8. Dallas Mavericks is 9. Lakers is 10. Golden State is 11. And Portland is 12. So 12 teams.
Yep.
12 teams are going to have new coaching jobs available, in my opinion.
Look at Basil. Talking about let's go Nuggets. He's such a
Let's go Nuggets is crazy. All right. Not on my Bucks. All right.
yeah.
Relax, buddy.
Oh, have you checked out the draft so far? Casual is there anybody, even though question marks, that stands out to you?
Not. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I need to though. The only thing that bores me when it comes to the NBA like draft scouting is these players. Majority of these players that are playing at these colleges, they're not. That's not their like. They're practicing or they're playing under a role that's not even going to be their role when they get to the NBA. So like
Yeah.
for instance, like you remember last year when whatchamacallit came into the league? What's the guy's name? What was the kid's name? He got drafted to the Nuggets.
I know who you're
Um,
talking about. I can't think of his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm trying
Let
to
me
think.
go look up the draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm trying to remember his name. That shit is bothering the shit out of me. I want to say, I don't want to say his name and then I'd be dead wrong because then I'm gonna sound stupid and crack my brain.
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets. Mm,
Because they made it to the finals. You talking about Julian from Gonzaga? I don't want to.
Strother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for Gonzaga, he had like a bigger role, right? Like he was like a shot creator for them. He
Mm-hmm.
comes to the Nuggets and like lo and behold, he just reduced to a 3-point shooter and that wasn't his strength coming into the league. Like he wasn't a knockdown 3-point shooter, but he's playing for the Nuggets mainly in that Michael Porter Jr. role where he's coming off a screen and he has to just shoot the ball, like don't dribble it. And so like that, like I guess I'm more so what is the thing, the NBA draft workout.
Mm-hmm.
I watch those because that gives me a better depiction of what they are like. Oh, okay. Like when I saw Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson doing their draft workouts, I was looking at how fast and agile Scoot was. His ball handling skills seemed like it was crisp enough to transfer into the league. And 9 out of 10, him being 6'2", he was gonna play the point guard spot. So I'm looking at his passing ability and stuff like that. I see Brandon Miller. I'm looking at Brandon Miller's athleticism, his agility ability, and stuff like that. And I'm looking at him doing the shoot arounds, and I'm like, oh, so he can shoot. But I had no idea what he did in college because, in my eyes, especially after getting burned by the Buddy Hield experiment, nigga, I don't know what the fuck they gonna be. Nigga, I don't know, bro. Especially with Brandon Miller. I thought Brandon Miller was gonna be a Trevor Ariza. This nigga's gonna be the next All-Star for the Charlotte Hornets. Not even Kevin.
Right. That's true.
I
I
don't trust this shit no more.
Yeah, I agree. I like watching workouts too.
Yeah, it's a good way to like. I feel like it's the best way for me. For me personally, it's the best way for me.
Oh, I agree with you too.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they like the NFL and they let fans come to the work, or is it just personnel staff from the teams and stuff like that? Because I want to experience it, like go
It's
to the
in
work.
yeah. No, it's in the area. I think you can come in, but it's like limited access.
That I sit there quiet. I know I'm on TV. I ain't gonna cheer. That's not what you're supposed to go and do. You're supposed to be there and sit there and watch.
She talking about some. I'll be quiet.
Yeah. I wouldn't cheer at the NFL ones because I was shocked to know that they let fans. I'm like, really? They said, yeah, you can go to the combine and watch them and stuff like that. I said, oh, so we just don't get to watch on TV? Because I be wanting to. I think it's better for me to see because all the football players do is run,
Yeah.
jump and shit. So I don't. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you get to see the drills. I want to see the drills that they run because I hate watching it on NBA TV or like League Pass. I don't like how it's so dry.
They cut from
So
like the
much.
action too often for my liking.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm gonna see how it works. When do they start? Because March Madness, as
March,
early as the end of June, right? Start working. I know you can't go to the private workouts, but
if I'm correct, I could have sworn it was wasn't it in May?
but the season not over. Well, let me stop. I need to
Yeah,
find out when they start doing the workouts.
I was about to say because I know March Madness isn't over until May, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like some of them people don't even make it. Like the people that's gonna be in the lottery, some of
Hmm.
them not gonna make it to March Madness. Like they just won't qualify because their team wasn't good.
That's
And
why I'm.
so I think that if I'm correct, I think they be working out for the team. Wait, are you talking about like the legit All-Star, not All-Star, NBA draft
Yeah,
combine?
like, and that irritates me too because they be like, I'm not working out for the
Yeah,
what's name. But I really want to go see because like you said on TV, it's terrible. Like I be
yeah.
trying to watch it and I'm like, I be aggravated.
That's why I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I'll wait when it comes to like live things. When it comes to like the young players and stuff, I just wait until Las Vegas, the summer circuit.
Yeah, because that's about the best.
That I ain't gonna lie to you. That them kids when it comes to like the summer league.
Hmm.
Oh my god, bro! When you talk about like players being like on full showcase, like no filter. Like the coaches, some of them don't even be running plays like that. They run elementary plays to try to like make it seem like they're really doing something. But really, to tell you the truth, it's really the closest thing to like open gym.
Oh yeah, you ain't the first person I heard that from
Yeah,
at
like
all.
that. I like it. It's a vibe. And then on top of that, like um the feel of like the gym because it's more compact than it is in like an NBA arena. It
Mhm.
feels like a high school gym. The way people be standing up in the clutch moments and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I remember watching I think it was I forget who it was. I want to say it was like Paolo versus was it Paolo versus Jalen Green or something like that? Was it yeah, I want to say it was Paolo versus Jalen Green. And when I said the gym was standing up in the clutch because like they was going blow for blow, like bucket for bucket. I was like, this is tough. This is tough. It's a vibe, bro.
yeah, yep. Yeah, yeah. It just, I definitely want to get into it because I be like, man, I don't like to just look at stats, you
Yeah.
know, to see if it really was what it was. Because some people will get on here and bold face lie just for the player that they like.
She talking about Big L.
Uh,
we ain't talking about you, Big L.
Nah, nah, that's like I want to see like the guys in the like I can go see them right. When I go see them, I can actually probably go watch them. I probably have to figure out where I can watch the games. But
Hmm.
like Ron Holland and I can't pronounce this other guy that they was talking about that's in the G League. Like I'm not tripping about them. I'm worried about everybody else that's coming out of or from overseas and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I think
Yeah.
they don't work out. Maybe it just depends on who their agents are. So I just want to see like the Americans. Should nobody in this draft class this year say they not working out unless they injured? You know, coming into the workout, everybody should be working out. It's not a
But
star in this draft.
you know they are though.
I know, and that's what's aggravating. I'm
Yeah.
not working out. I'm not doing that. Like you know, that's what Shadon Sharp did. Um, what Shadon Sharp had did. Like they was like, yeah, he's not working out, and I was like, wow, like
Like me
that's
personally, um I think Alexander Sarr is not gonna have a he's not gonna have a problem working out. Especially it looks like Detroit's gonna have that number one overall pick.
shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Um and if that's the case, Alexander Sarr is definitely gonna work out for them. What's the kid's name? Zachary Zach
Yeah,
yeah,
Rick,
you know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
yeah,
Start with an
yeah,
R. Start with an R.
yeah. I know who you talking about.
He's gonna work out because they projecting him to be a top 3 pick.
Yeah. Oh, and
Um,
that's one of the people from the highlights that, like, I was like, oh, like
yeah,
like I see what you're saying about SAR. Like, it's highlights though. You
yeah.
got to think about that.
No,
But
for real.
like what I did see, like with Walter whatever from Baylor, that everybody,
You talking about Jacoby Walter? That's who I
yeah.
was. That's who I think. I think that Charlotte should get him.
Okay, outside of his defense, like I need to find some better clips, I guess, because like I see that he's athletic to me, like Bridges. That's what jumps out.
If we're keeping it a stack, there
Like, what
there
is it?
if
Like,
we're keeping it, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we're keeping it a stack, they're
mhm.
going to trade. They're either going to trade. They're either going to sign a trade or they're going to let um Miles Bridges go.
What do
Either
you
way,
do? What's good business to you?
business wise, I think that they should trade him before the trade deadline. I
I
think I think he has value. I think you should capitalize on it while you can.
that's
I think that you can find. I think that you have a equal, if not potentially better, dynamic to Lamelo and Brandon Miller. I think you just
I
slide
agree.
Brandon Miller to the 3. You
Yes,
draft if you can, you draft Jacoby Walter because Jacoby Walter, in my eyes, he reminds me a little bit of Buddy Hield in the sense of him being like a him being able to space the floor and him
mm,
being pretty solid at 6'5" at like moving off ball and being able to shoot off the dribble and stuff like that. So I think that you could be able to use that. That could be a good floor spacer. Mix that in with Brandon Miller developing as far as like strength wise. You could be able to put him at the 3. He's perfectly sized for that. And you
so
just go out there and get you a 4. I think Miles
yeah,
Bridges should get
I'm glad
traded.
you addressed that. I'm glad
Yeah.
you addressed that because I was so bad to ask. Okay, so let me say this.
Uh huh.
hypothetically speaking, because we can only go off of pretend, they supposed to
Yeah,
draft at 4. But let's say the lottery hits and they be nice, which I don't think they are, to the
you know they
Hornets,
won't.
and they get the number 2 pick. You can choose between Jacoby Walter and Zachariah. I think that's his first name. Who would you take?
Jacoby Walter, Zachary.
Yeah, who would you take?
Mm, I would take I would take Jacoby Walter because although I think Zachary has a higher upside. I think when it comes to Charlotte's position right now, you need to draft off of what you need, not the best pick. Like in the case of in Detroit's case, you draft what you need. I'm trying to think what is a good team that just drafts because they need talent. The Washington Wizards, perfect. Okay, the Washington Wizards, whoever is the best in the draft, like in that position,
Mm-hmm.
wherever Washington is, they take him because they don't have a foundation to start from. Like Jordan Poole is not their foundation. Denny Avdia is not their foundation. They have no foundation. So what do you need to do? You need to get that star for you to
Right.
groom into being the foundation so that you can now draft to getting pieces to build around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte already has that piece. They have LaMelo Ball, they have Brandon Miller, they have Mark Williams. So they have 3 players for them to build the foundation around, right? So
Right.
this draft, they need to decide: do we want to go stretch 4, or do we want to go floor spacing 3, floor spacing 2? In my opinion, I think you go with the floor spacing 2 because you have a player that could potentially space the floor in PJ Washington, right? So you have like a band-aid for that position, but you don't have a 2 that you could partner with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. So you need that 2. You absolutely need that. So I would draft him and then either wait for the next draft because, like, let's be honest, Charlotte isn't going to be good next season either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you either wait for the next draft or make a trade because there's a slew of floor spacing 4s that you could be able to choose from that could give you some type of production
Right.
to reason that.
So
So yeah, I
draft.
would go with Jacoby Walter though.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Just because after obviously drafting a guy that could come in and start, I do notice that he a freshman, so I'm looking at his maturity because Lord knows Charlotte needs that right now. But if he's the best, you know, 2 guard that's available that early, yeah, take him. But I'm looking for a guy that, to me, like like I said, this is a role players draft, really.
Yeah.
Like if you could find another guy that's an upperclassman, preferably like the guy from Kansas, I like him. Just from a maturity aspect, I would do that. Then take Walter because, like I said, he a freshman. You know, so
Mhm.
'cause this team is a fucking mess, man. Like
They're not as much of a mess as you think. They have, like
from
I
a
said,
maturity standpoint, though, is what I'm saying.
no, but think about it. The maturity thing is just merely a product of what the not calling them kids, but the parent that they have watching over them. So if you have a parent that don't give a shit, you're not gonna give a shit, right? But the moment you get a parent that tells you you need to be in by a certain time, you start to build the same philosophy, the same structure, the same structure that you were shown. That's the structure that you're going to produce. That's the structure you're going to show to everybody on the outside. So when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets, I heard somebody talk about how they were disappointed that they saw LaMelo and them laughing and stuff after getting blown out. Well, what is Steve Clifford doing? Like Steve Clifford not giving a shit.
Yeah, he got.
Steve, yeah,
They said.
yeah. But Steve Clifford was doing such a bad job. Like, are we really gonna you know what I'm saying? Is it really moving you that he was showing some emotion for some damages that this nigga caused. I'm sorry, I'm not moved by that nigga. That nigga
They
gotta go.
say
He
he
has
got
to
hit
go.
in the head. That's why he got kicked out.
Yeah,
Um,
you,
Brandon Miller.
the whatchamacallit is not going to be the Charlotte Hornets are just they simply need to get rid of Steve Clifford, because what that'll do for them is that will allow them to properly function and pick out the bad apples in the group. So, like for instance, I think personally, I think Book Night is gone right along with Miles Bridges.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
We know that.
yeah, yeah. I think Book Night is out right along with Miles Bridges, and I also think that what's this kid's name what is his name? Forgetting it. Nick Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's out too.
Wow, we're what immaturity or like what's
Immaturity, immaturity, and him being expendable. I think him being a young talent. I think he's going to have suitors that's willing to trade for him,
I
and
agree.
not willing to give up much, but willing to give us some draft assets. And the Charlotte Hornets definitely need some draft assets, so they could be able to trade him because
Oh,
he's not in the grand scheme of things.
I agree.
Um, but I think on an internal thing, I think that they should trade him because I think he is sort of he's not helping the situation at hand in the sense of the immaturity problem.
What I was about to say about him. To me, if like okay, like the teams that they was saying that was suitors for Bridges, right? Like the Suns
Hmm.
keep coming up. Now, I'm not saying you take anything respectfully and stuff like that because we know they need not young talent. They need something.
Yeah,
But I'm like, okay, I'm looking at. I'm like, well, I don't think Bridges is trash, and we know these guys are expiring. But if you don't, I don't believe they should look for a leader, a mature leader in the draft. But I'm like, you getting these older players in here is not the problem. It's just that can you get them to stay and talk them into because I think they gonna find that leader, unfortunately, in a coach. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't because like Laurie, come on, bro. Just stay. Let them pay you, take a little bit of money and stay and help him. Like, but he wanna get him a ring, I guess.
who you
So
talking about?
Kyle Laurie.
Oh, no. He has to go because I mean, um,
We ain't asking him to play. We just asking him to be a mature voice within that locker room outside of the coach for whatever coach is gonna be, and stuff
yeah,
like
but
that.
he's not. Yeah, but he what Kyle Lowry used to be, he is no more. Which was more than anything, he was a player that could be able to give you, you know what I'm saying, some type of value on the floor to where he could lead by example. So it's one thing for to have these veterans. So like for instance, I don't know if you watch like these not documentaries, but these interviews that Udonis Haslam talks about, but he talks about how even him not being on the court, he was always in practice being the guy that, sort of showed everybody the way and stuff. And so when Bam came into the league, he like that rubbed off on him. Same thing with Josh Richardson. Same thing with, you know what I'm saying? What's the kid's name? Tyler Hero. Same thing with even Jaime. Like he's learning from it. So like there's certain players that can teach you while not necessarily being on the floor because they do it in practice. But in Kyle Lowry's case, Kyle Lowry physically can't do it in practice or in game. Like he's
Okay,
just yeah, like
okay,
he
I just
can't do it.
got you.
Yeah.
So who, like, without making the Gordon Hayward mistake again, who can you like? like who can you be like, yo, because they gonna have to beg, we know that. But who can you like say, hey, look at me over here, I need your help.
James Johnson wouldn't be a bad
Okay,
pickup.
all right.
Um, let me think. Yeah, James Johnson. I think. Uh, hmm, that is an interesting question. I was not expecting. James Johnson. I think there should be a person or two that should be looking for payday. Yeah,
Because listen,
yeah. Let
you
me see.
hey, listen, you gotta because they gotta be told like, yeah, you gonna get some minutes, but it's the young guys and
Oh no,
I
no. That like the mistake, the first mistake that the Hornets would make
ooh,
if they just be out here talking about some. Yeah, you gonna get minutes, man. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. You gonna get
yeah,
minutes. You'll be lying to their face. Them niggas will be gone. They
boy.
will be gone. Um. Oh,
Because you
okay.
realize they really ain't got no bench. They got 4 starters and nobody on the bench now.
I think.
If you move Nick Smith, there's nothing on the bench.
I
Oh, I
think.
forgot about Nicholas Richards, but yeah, that's about
I
it.
think. Yeah. I think bringing in like let's say like you bring in a player like Nicholas Batum back.
Oh yeah, I
Um.
forgot about him.
I think if you bring Nicholas Batum back, but um, this time would be different because it would be with a head coach that's actually competent enough to structure the team, give them proper roles and stuff like that, and in turn, Nicholas Batum would be like the locker room leader, or Robert Covington. I think Robert
Oh yeah,
Covington wouldn't be a bad shout. PJ Tucker, this is his last year, and I think he would be a solid addition for you guys. I think PJ Tucker. I think PJ Tucker brings a set of intensity along with leadership that could really help LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Mark Williams, give them that edge that everybody's been asking about, so that they can stop being laid back and start taking every play far more serious than they have in recent memory. I think. Hmm, let me see if there's any. I think Kyle Anderson. I think I said this before. I think Kyle Anderson would be a good addition for you guys. I think Kyle Anderson brings us a type of veteranship to Minnesota, and I think similar to that, he could do that for you guys. I think Jeff Green. Jeff Green is on a 1 year deal with Houston. I think
yeah.
Jeff Green.
I think he was. I was thinking about that too. That's what I
Yeah.
would have loved them to do was to get Udoka too, but
Hmm.
that's you know tough.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
'Cause
yeah. That's
a
crazy.
coach like Udoka definitely help. Anybody out there
Um.
similar to him?
Similar to Ime.
Mm-hmm.
Um. No.
No, okay.
No, because what makes Ime unique is he's in a small circle of players, of head coaches in the NBA that make adjustments. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's what makes him special. It's not necessarily what he does in the regular season. Even though he's a great coach in the regular season, what really sets him apart from the Doc Rivers, the Mike Budenholzers, you know, dare I say it, maybe
So
even the Ty Lues, is his ability to make adjustments in the postseason. So that's where his value truly lies. That being said, though, Charlotte doesn't need a Ime type of head coach. I don't even think Houston really needed. I think they were lucky to have him fall into that situation. But I think if we're keeping it a stack, I think Terry Stotts would be perfect for here. I think Terry Stotts could mimic some of the philosophies he had with Dame, with Dame and CJ. I think he could have that same philosophy with LaMelo
just with
and
bigger players, yeah.
yeah, it with larger players. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with larger players. And
Hopefully,
hell, I think the quietest kept this would be a long shot. I think Patrick Beverly would be a great addition for you guys.
I forget it. Patrick don't mind. He was with Minnesota.
Exactly. Patrick is playing off of the bench, being a leader for Tyrese Maxey. Imagine what he could do for LaMelo.
But do you think you could talk him into leaving though?
He's on a 1 year deal.
But you know how he is,
Mm,
and he's in that situation, and they winning.
he didn't re-sign with any of these teams. These teams traded him before his contract was even up. He
Okay.
took a vet minimum. That's how that's how much value he has right now. He knows it. So I think at this point, I think Patrick understands that he needs to go where he's valued. He's gonna be valued in Charlotte. Dare I say, I think
Detroit.
he'll probably get the most love. He'll
Detroit.
probably get the most love. Well, no, because I don't think Detroit. I don't think Detroit needs a guard veteranship as much as I think they need some type of disciplinary, as far as like somebody that's going to sort of be an enforcer. Detroit needs a PJ Tucker, a James Johnson. That's what they need. They need a PJ Tucker, to sort of get them out of this mood. But
Mhm.
in Charlotte's case, Charlotte just needs a guard leader to lead LaMelo to being a little more professional. So also Brandon Miller, and in turn, what it'll do is it'll transfer across the team. Like you'll notice a difference because you guys are far more guard heavy than Detroit is. Detroit is open to the idea of running an offense through, let's say, Jalen Duren, like as a lob third and stuff like that. Y'all will never do that for Mark Williams. It will
Oh
never
yeah,
happen. It
per
will never
the
happen.
point guard that they got in the wing player that they got. Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely agree with that.
yeah, it will never happen.
Yeah. I'm happy though. I'm happy that Brandon Miller is out here looking like he looking. I'm so proud of him, man. Like, just keep it on the good foot. Stay smart. You know, all them little things.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna make the what is that called? The rookie versus the sophomore, if he gonna be on that team. The
Hell
rookie.
yeah, he is. Yeah.
Cause
Yeah, man.
well, the rookies is winning this year. Because I just now thought about it. Chet is a rookie. Wimbenyana,
No,
Brandon.
no, no. Oh yeah, he is a rookie technically.
Yeah. And
Oh
the
yeah.
sophomores, who's a sophomore? Wait a minute. Let me go look at the sophomores right quick.
Jabari Smith Jr.
Uh Sagoon,
Um,
right?
no, Sengun's not a sophomore.
Okay.
Um,
Oh
oh,
shit.
let's see. Uh,
Oh, wait a minute. I think the sophomores is gonna get smoked. Well, let me see some. Cause okay, you got Keegan, Pablo. Oh, okay, let me calm down.
Keegan
Keegan,
Murray.
Pablo,
Oh shit.
uh, Benedict Matherin, however you say his name, Sharp,
Oh wow.
Jeremy,
Jalen Duran, Mark Williams,
any other notable names?
Marjan
Chris
Beauchamp.
Walker Kessler. Ooh, let me keep
Oh,
going.
oh my. Jaden Hardy.
Max Christie. Yep, I see him. Uh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's really they're
now
really
let me
top
go look
heavy.
at the rookie team one more time.
I think
Oh,
the starting lineup will probably look something like probably Jaden Ivey at probably Dyson Daniels or Jaden Ivey at the one, Benedict
right.
Matherin at the two, Keegan Murray at the 4 or 3, Jabari Smith at the 4. No, it'll be Jaden Ivey, Jaden Ivey, Shaden. No, God damn it! Stop saying Shaden Sharp. Jaden Ivey, Benedict Matherin, Jabari Smith, Paolo, and Chet Holmgren.
No, remember
Oh
Chet is on.
wait, no, Chet is a fucking. Oh wow. Okay, so then it'll be Jaden Ivey, Benedict Matherin, Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith, and Paolo starting.
But you forgot we got the twins this year. We got Scoot. I think Scoot is gonna play in that game. Then
We
then
won just because of that.
you got Derek. We forgot about him. Then you got I don't know if Jordan's gonna qualify. Well, yeah, because I think he didn't play some NBA games. But you got Jordan Hawkins, Keontae George is with Utah, Chris Murray, Keegan's brother,
Hmm.
Marcus Saucer,
He's not
uh,
that good though.
Julian, the guy we just talked about for Denver. I'm sorry, I'm taking the rookie team. I don't even think it's gonna be close.
You taking the rookie? I'm not mad at that because Chet is playing for them. If Chet wasn't playing for them, it would be
It'll
something
be
different.
more balanced. I ain't gonna
But
cap.
Chet with Wimby is nuts.
That's toxic.
Yeah, they
That is
man,
toxic.
that's
Yo,
crazy. That's tough.
here go everybody on 2K cheating. Talking about, yeah, let me get. He was on the rookie team.
That's crazy.
I'm so.
Especially
Ooh.
the more I'm looking at this shit, Jeremy Sochan is gonna be playing for the second year for the sophomores.
Uh-huh.
Dang. Oh wait. Oh no. They have hope. They might have hope.
Why?
J-Dub, bro. They got J-Dub. And they got Jalen Duren. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, I
Okay,
gotta
wait a
redo
minute.
this. Okay, so Jaden Ivey,
Mhm.
Benedict Matherin, Jabari Smith Jr., Paulo at the 4, Jalen Duren at the 5. And actually, the more I'm thinking about it, Jabari Smith Jr. might end up coming off the bench
Oh yeah,
because
I
yeah,
don't
he
know why
might end up
you
coming.
keep.
Yeah, he might end up coming off the bench because J Dub is here. This nigga J Dub is crazy. Yeah, J Dub gonna start. So yeah, it'll be Jaden Ivey, Benedict Matherin, J Dub, Paolo, Jalen Duran, and then off the bench is gonna be probably you got Jeremy Sochan, you got Keegan Murray, you got Jabari Smith Jr., you got Dyson Daniels, Shaden Sharp, Mark Williams, quiet as kept, that nigga AJ Griffin.
Oh yeah, it might be closer when it comes to the benches, but maybe now that you said that, it's a little more
Man,
balanced.
yeah,
Now let's
y'all gonna look. Let the sophomores beat them, and Jalen Durant had another 2020 game. Boy, the propaganda I'm gonna be pushing.
But why? We know Wimby is light in the butt, so that's not fair.
Man, he did it to him and Chet. If he
Like you
did it to
can't
both of
you
them, that's
you cannot
crazy.
spin that narrative.
Yeah, I'm
Listen,
finna
I
be.
think the twins, the Thompson twins, going. Hey, listen, the perimeter are gonna be strapped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And they got a whole bunch of shooters. That's why I'm like, oh no, they got Keontae, they got Jordan, they got Grady. I think Grady's gonna make it. If we being a little bit more interested, the guy from that's with the Golden State Warriors, Brandon, I think that's how you say his first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. However you say his name. I was about to say Polishevsky. Like we said, Julian. We'll
Oh,
see.
B
I
Pod,
think
B Pod, B Pod. You talking about
yeah,
Brandon Pokuševski?
yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see this year.
Yeah.
This and then I don't know if they're gonna let GG Jackson play because I don't know how many games he's played for because I just want to see him play. That's all. In Memphis. Cause I liked him coming out of South Carolina outside of the competition that they said he had. I still like him, but I can't wait. This is gonna be a good game this year. It was kind of lagging the year before. Cause was LaMelo did he play in last year?
Last year All Star game?
No, the sophomore. Wait a minute.
I couldn't.
This is
Nah, it couldn't be because that was
24,
his last year
22,
was his. Yeah, last
third
year was
year.
his
I'm
third
tripping.
year.
I'm tripping. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
let me look. That was Cage. Yeah, Cage year.
Yeah.
He would have been a sophomore, I think. Mm, well, yeah, it was still ass. I didn't want to watch it
Yeah,
for
I
whatever
didn't watch this
reason.
shit.
But this year, I'm toxic. I'm watching all of that. That might be their highest rated rookie versus sophomore game, man.
I will sit there and watch it just so I can shit on. So I can shit on the old heads. I'll be like, this what y'all talking about? This y'all talking about?
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. We happy hunting. We want to be happy hunting. I might attempt to watch the whole All-Star game. I don't know. I don't, because I'm just waiting to the year end because I want to see these all NBA teams. I want to
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie
see.
to you. What's McCullough might mess around and not win MVP because he missing too many damn games.
Yeah, they said he can only miss 6 more.
5.
Or yeah, 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he missed 5 more. He raps.
So who's that's I know it's Shea, who and Jokic, right?
Nah. Well, yeah, it's Jokic, then it's Shea. Like Jokic has
And
a
then
way.
who's after them? Is it that far apart after them? It would be
Yeah,
Giannis, right?
yeah, it's Giannis and then it's is it Giannis though? It
Because
might be.
or
It
is
might
it
be Giannis, but
Luca? No,
yeah, I'll check. But
because shit, who
I
do
know
they
for a
keep?
fact. I know for a fact Tatum is entered into the top
Yeah,
5.
it might be Tatum. It might be Tatum before Giannis. Actually, now that I think about it, because they have I don't number 1 seed, right? They still got the number 1 seed.
Who?
Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Let me check.
Because it might be him, Tatum, then Giannis.
Yeah, the Celtics still have the first, and they're up by like four wins.
Yeah, so yeah, we right. Tatum, Giannis, and that's irrelevant after that because we dropping Embiid out.
Yeah, Embiid to be dropped out. I want to say.
We named 4 other players, right? Jokic, Shea,
Yeah,
Tatum.
it's Jokic, Shea, Tatum, and Giannis.
Yeah. Who would you give it to?
If it's not Embiid, it's definitely Jokic.
Yeah, we're gonna pull back up tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, OG.
Appreciate y'all.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.